not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People, in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality.
Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl that like going
that is
and
the
getting her
best
done.
shit fucking
Shopping for the
ever.
dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the people.
Shout out to Cherry for just being easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. my friends. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well. It's great to see you guys. Man, so there's a few things that I wanted to go over. Something just breaking just happened. Let me pull this up. Get out of there, fool. So apparently, let's see, work emails from Karen Reed's DA's personal account are released. Extensive records involving official business that Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey sent from and received at a personal email account were released Friday under a records request filed in connection with the high-profile Karen Reed case. The released records, which NBC 10 Boston are reviewing, are 4,102 pages long. They have been redacted. Okay. I wonder how heavily redacted they. Okay. Reed's legal team and lawyers for blogger Aidan Kearney's. Jesus Christ. Aidan Kearney's. Reed's legal team and lawyers for blogger Aidan Kearney's. Jesus Christ. Why do they always do that? Like, just call them independent journalists. They're so scared to say independent journalist. Had both sought the emails while their cases wound through Massachusetts court system, claiming that Morrissey was seeking to discuss matters in a way that would avoid having to be turned over to defense lawyers or made public. Last year, Reed's lawyers pointed to an email Morrissey allegedly sent a judge from a personal iCloud email account instead of his state email address in a harassment case brought against Kearney. They argued the move was extremely concerning and raises concerns about the integrity of this prosecution. Kearney's team sent a letter to prosecutors about the message from Morrissey, and he told NBC 10 Boston at the time he did that on purpose so that it wouldn't come up in public record searches because he didn't want the public to know what he was doing. Wow. Asked for comment on the filings at the time, Morrissey's office had said any response would be made in court, citing the pending case. After Kearney's allegation in October, NBC 10 Boston requested any emails sent by and to District Attorney Michael Morrissey's personal iCloud account for official duties as District Attorney. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office spent months working to fulfill the request. What? Okay. Kept a low profile. I love that shit. NBC 10 Boston sought a comment for 2 days by phone, email, and in-person visits to his office, at which point a representative for Morrissey's emailed to say there will be no statement from the DA or the office regarding the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. Now, that to me is fascinating. Like, not only has he just been ducking out, right? Not only has he just been ducking out, but what he's been doing, I mean, he's straight up saying, leave me alone. He had a spokesperson go, I'm not talking about the Karen Reed case. I wonder why that is. Because if you're proud of what you've done, you're proud of the actions you've taken, hiring a special prosecutor, and you did everything necessary to get justice for Boston police officer John O'Keefe, well, then you would proudly address the public with this, wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that? Doesn't really track, does it? What tracks is that Michael Morrissey is absolutely corrupt, and that everything that Karen Reed's camp has alluded about them, everything that Aidan Kearney has discovered and said about them was absolutely true. The corruption in Norfolk County is absolutely real. That's just telling me without telling me. Because it sure as shit sounds like he's got a lawyer telling him, don't talk to anybody. Because now the shit's about to hit the fan. That's what that tells me. That tells me that he's got a lawyer going, zip it. Because already a shit ton of what you've had to say is going to be used against you. So, yeah, I'm I'm really stoked about this. I'd love to know what's in those emails.
As key players react to the verdict, the silence has been deafening from the district attorney, whose office prosecuted the murder case. Nobody has seen the DA. NBC 10 investigator Ryan Kath has been trying to trace down a comment from the elected official. Ryan, there is sure to be political fallout after these two trials.
No doubt, Glenn. After 2 days
No
of
doubt.
calls, emails, in-person visits, we received this statement from a spokesperson of Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey. Quote, there will be no comment about Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. As you can imagine, the people trying to replace him in office have plenty to say about that. Since Wednesday's dramatic verdict, there has been no response from District Attorney Michael Morrissey, the person who decided to move forward with a second trial against Karen Reed.
His lack of transparency has completely undermined the community's trust.
That's one of the main reasons Juna Perkins is making a run for Norfolk County DA.
Woo!
Perkins, a former prosecutor and trial attorney of 30 years who lives a mile from the courthouse in Dedham, called it unethical to continue pursuing murder charges and not learn any lessons from the first trial.
I think the worst thing about this case and what the district attorney's office did is that it told the family of John O'Keefe that they could expect a murder conviction. Giving them false hope may put them through this experience that is emotionally devastating.
Craig McClellan is also challenging Morrissey for the DA's seat. What is your reaction to that silence?
He is inaccessible and invisible. And as I've said before, it's just never going to lead to good government. So the fact that he's essentially in hiding right now is completely unacceptable.
McClellan, a former prosecutor and now a criminal defense attorney in Cohasset, says Morrissey should explain to taxpayers why he decided to bring in special prosecutor Hank Brennan for the second trial. As the NBC 10 investigators reported, financial records show Brennan stands to make more than $500,000 in compensation for the case. When McClellan points out there are already veteran prosecutors paid six-figure salaries in the DA's office.
To me, it didn't make a great deal of fiscal sense, and it's cost the taxpayers a huge amount of money. And I don't see the wisdom in it.
What was your reaction to seeing some of the results?
I thought the results in here were astounding.
On the night of the verdict, Brian Wynn of Opinion Diagnostics sent out a survey by text to thousands of eligible jurors in Norfolk County. Out of the roughly 1,100 responses, this was the most staggering result. Only 4% of those people answered that Morrissey deserves to be reelected.
Wow.
And these were by far the worst numbers I had ever seen for any elected official I've ever polled.
Holy shit.
Today, reporters asked Governor Healy about whether the public should expect to hear from the DA after a case like this, and she declined to comment. Morrissey was first elected to DA in 2010 and is now serving his fourth term. It's still unclear if he plans to run for a fifth next year, but as you just heard, it would be an understatement to say he's facing some political headwinds. Ryan Kath, NBC 10 Investigator.
You think? Bro, dude. Now listen, I don't know a lot about politics. I don't claim to know a lot about politics, but I'm going to discern out of that 4% is a staggeringly low approval rate. I'd say it's real bad for a sitting district attorney, for one that's like in office right now. Like nobody likes that fucking guy. Like that 4% is exactly the McAlberts. That 4% is the McAlberts. Exactly. Ultra MAGA dog. That 4% is all a McAlbert. Every one of them is a McAlbert. I guarantee it. Bev counts as a McAlbert. Let's just be honest. She counts as a fucking McAlbert, bro. Stop. She counts as a McAlbert now. Bev counts as a McAlbert. Please. Let's not split hairs here, bro. Okay? Now, I want to get something out of the way since spirits are high right now. And I don't like to address this shit, but I feel like somebody does sometimes. And I'll keep it fair because I'll just speak for myself, okay? Like, the infighting in the community, okay? The infighting in the community is none of my fucking business. I don't give a fuck about it anymore. I really don't. Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, y'all are stupid. Like, I had like a minute little beef with somebody where we just decided to go our own ways. This is the only person I had beef with that I can remember in this community. And even then, we were like, you go your way, I'll go mine. That's it. Like, when I see a bunch of grown-ass men and women who are arguing like children, like in a chat where it's the platform belongs to a dude who's facing jail time every fucking minute he opens his fucking mouth. And y'all can't fucking just act like grown-ups? Y'all can't just act like grown-ups. Like, don't message me with the shit because I don't care. It's not personal. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not mad at you. I'm telling you, don't message me with the shit because I don't give a fuck about it. I cannot be clearer. Don't send me DMs about it. I don't give a fuck. Like, please. Like, if, dude, I sit up here and I act like a fucking 10-year-old, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come up here and I act like a fucking 10-year-old, dude. And even for me, that shit is so stupid for me to engage in. I just don't want to do it. Like, do you understand what we're trying to do here? Like, we're trying to perpetuate awareness of something, and in order to do that effectively, it makes sense to compose ourselves at least to a point to where we have solidarity. Everybody can do whatever the fuck they want and act however they want. That's fine. But I'm just telling you, it's counterproductive to perpetuating awareness to the bullshit in your county when y'all can't get along. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to name no names because a lot of the people I like, I respect, I get along with, but I don't want to be dragged into it. I don't want to hear it. And I think it sucks. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So, yeah, those 4% was definitely the McAlberts, bro. 4% is definitely the McAlberts. Yeah, I'm just saying, man, it's so dumb. Like, God, it's mind-numbingly stupid. I'm just seeing if there's anything I want to go over. Yeah, I want to go over Microdot's video because I haven't watched it yet. But it's still pretty fresh. Let's what I wanted to do was go over we're going to check out now. We already had watched this one, and there's an active shooter, dude, in Atlanta right now. Unreal. So we're going to finish listening to Turtleboy's testimony from January of 24. And then we're going to start that other one. The one in March.
To your knowledge, is anyone but Ms. Catani responsible for her problems with DCF and her children?
No, just her.
So in late November of 2023, did Ms. Catani tell you that she had elected to have an abortion?
She did. She ended up, after ignoring me all day on the 27th, she ended up coming to my court date on the 28th. She actually posted in the Norwood Moms Facebook group looking for a babysitter to come the next day while actively ignoring me. She showed up to my court date in Stoughton, and we met up at the Dunkin' Donuts afterwards, and I asked if she did it, and she said yes, and she started crying, and I consoled her, and I told her it was going to be okay, and that I'm here for her, and she was very upset about it, and I said, and then she asked me if we could be in a relationship, and I said, we'll see. I'd like to be, let's see where it goes. And for the next week, she constantly told me that she was traumatized from the abortion, that it was my fault, that I made her do something she did not want to do, that I forced her to do it. And I said, I didn't force you to do anything. And that would really upset her that I didn't force her to do it. She would scream at me and say, yes, you did.
Hey, Cherry, can you drop?
You made me do this. Don't you dare have me say that. And I was frightened. And this is how most of our conversation.
And then at some point, did she shift gears away from the notion that she had terminated the pregnancy?
On December 5th, she got especially upset with me. And she told me, guess what? I didn't have the abortion. I was lying to you to see how you'd react. And I'm so.
Oh, yeah. Something happened with my mic. I don't know what happened. Can you please drop Turtleboy's defense fund link so that I can pin it? Thank you.
So glad now because I'm keeping it, and I was very shocked by this, that I'd been deceived for a whole week about her having an abortion, and she asked me to meet her the next day on December 6th. So I agreed to meet her at a parking lot in a town called Boylston at the Dragon 88, and we met there around noon to discuss, because she said she was still going to get an abortion now that she's back to being pregnant. So
let me stop you right there and ask you another question. Did, at this general time period in your relationship, did Ms. Catani engage in behavior that was inconsistent with how a responsible pregnant person would conduct themselves?
Object to form, Your Honor.
Say, so you were, I'll lay some foundation if I may, Your Honor. You were skeptical about whether or not she was pregnant at all.
Object to form, Your Honor.
Just trying to lay the foundation. What's your state of mind with respect to the truthfulness of her testimony and her position with you at the time about being pregnant?
I didn't doubt anything she said about the abortion.
And what contributed in terms of her behavior to you further doubting?
Because she sold it so. I mean, she did a tremendous job of pretending to be traumatized from this, lying to me on the phone.
Let me just stop you.
I mean, she does.
Understand the question.
She does that. Like, we heard recordings of her because she takes everything to an 11, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want her to calm down. You know, that's like one of the worst forms of manipulation. It's the most primitive, childish forms of manipulation. Like, that's what a child does when they are like battling wills with their parent to get what they want. It's never the dad, it's the mom, unless it's a girl. But they will throw a fit. They will toss themselves on the floor, start kicking and screaming. And then it's just like, all right, just fucking here. Calm down. That is the equivalent of what this woman does. The difference is that when a kid does it, it's almost okay. Now, you got to teach them not to do this. You know, you've got to raise them and teach them not to, you know, conduct themselves in public or in private like this, like to not reduce themselves in this to this kind of behavior. This is what parenting is. So the fact that she's an adult and acting this way, what seems to be consistently in front of her four children, implies that there's a serious problem in that household. Strongly.
Better question. The question is, what was her behavior that added to your skepticism about being actually pregnant?
Well, every time I see Lindsay, she's drunk. She gets drunk.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Relevance is the.
Well, she was claiming to be pregnant, yet we would go out drinking. She would have 4 or 5 drinks, get blackout drunk. And when I saw her on December 6th and I met her in that parking lot, she was very upset and was kicking. We sat in a minivan and she kicked pedals in her car in anger at me. And she said, "I'm drunk right now." And she pulled out a water bottle that was filled with vodka. And then she said, "I have to go pick up my kids at daycare."
So were you trying to break up with her?
Counsel, you can cross-examine. I was trying to. As I said, why would you want to be in a relationship with me? This is clearly I accept you. And that just made her.
Right. That's what pisses crazy off worse than anything else. This is the inarguable argument. Like, you can't counter this. Like, obviously you feel like I am this horrible person. Obviously you think that I am this horrible person. I obviously bring out the worst in you. Look at the way you're behaving. So I'm just going to go. And then, not to somebody who feels the need to continue to be abusive. This logic doesn't work with them. What this logic does is put them in a position to where they have no choice but to understand that that's how it is. Oh, Court Chopped, what's up? Yes, I did drop your link in the chat earlier, but I'm going to do it again. So guys, make sure to stop what you're doing right now and give this video a like and subscribe to Court Chopped. Court Chopped and Trial channels are our friends. No, the subtitles is fine. No, this is great that you put it together like this. It's great. It makes things very, very convenient. Very easy to go over, very easy to watch and pay attention to and follow.
More angry. The more I tried to leave her, the more angry she got.
Did you use the word toxic?
Yes.
Now, moving up to December 7th, did she re-engage with you relative to this?
That's a very overused word these days, but the fact is that there's no better word to describe any relationship seemingly with Lindsay Gattani. There just doesn't seem to be anything other than the word toxic to properly describe her.
Pregnancy and another issue with this alleged pregnancy.
Yes. She said that she had an appointment at the clinic in Brookline on December 8th, and she needed a ride home again.
You mentioned that earlier,
This is
correct?
the second time.
Okay, this is another time. Sorry, go ahead.
So the first time was November 27th, and that didn't happen. And then she said she was going to do it on December 8th and needed a ride home. And she asked me to sleep over that night because just to comfort her, and I agreed to do that.
Did you do that?
So she changed her mind on December 8th. She said, "I'm not going to go to the clinic. I'm going to take the abortion care." And apparently how that works is she said she took 1 pill in the morning in front of the doctor. That's what she said. And that she had to take the other 4 at night. And she said that the first one terminates the pregnancy. The 4th one extracts the fetus. And so she said, "It's painful, and I need you here with me."
What's up, Connor? Long time, homie.
So I agreed to sleep over her house on December 8th.
Bro.
At this point, what's your state of mind?
Dude, Can you imagine Turtleboy that night in that position? Can you imagine my man like sitting there listening to her fucking most likely still being very irrational and him just fucking going, fuck. You know? Like, I relate to that shit so much, you know? It sucks, dude. It's a bummer. It's a fucking bummer. Because he's like, I know she's being manipulative, but what am I going to do? The fuck am I going to do? Like, I know she's a manipulative asshole, but what am I going to do? What is a man to do in this position? And it's by design. It's absolutely by design. It's something she racked her brain to find a way to find him, to make him come over to where he can't say no. It's almost an art form how she fucking pulled this off. But it's low, it's dirty, it's disgusting. Oh, we got to do it. I mean, because it's Dina.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
Now, did you hear me say anything about specifically women are like this, Cherry? You need to calm down. Thank you, Dina. You're awesome. You're awesome. Awesome. Did you hear me say exclusively women are crazy and manipulative? Did you hear me say that? I need to say that shit. I know men can be like this. I know this. Well, if I said anything that even resembles that, I apologize. It's not what I meant. I'm speaking out of experience. I've never dated a dude who was crazy. No, I've never dated a dude. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to know? I can only I'm talking about how I relate to the situation because I've dated fucking crazy women, bro. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
About whether this is fantasy or whether it's true.
Honestly, I was leaning towards she's not pregnant. I was asking other women about this, what do you think of this, asking their opinion, and they all consistent with the view.
In the course of her trying to get you to stay there, did a verbal dispute arise between the two of you about whether you were going to stay there with her or whether you were going to go work?
The whole purpose of me being there, she was going to take the 4 abortion pills that night. We woke up at 5:30 the next morning and she said, I forgot to take the pills. And I said, well, it's 5:30. You can take them now if you want. And she said, no. She started screaming at me. She pretended to flush the pills down the toilet. And she started just berating me, like she always does, telling me I'm a scumbag, and said that you have to come back to them. This is now sad. She said, you have to come back to them.
What was your answer to that?
I said, I can't come back to them. They're going to show.
What do you mean when you say you have your shot?
So Lindsay knows that I do a live show. It's my job, my livelihood.
Is that on Facebook?
On YouTube, every Tuesday and Saturday night.
And how did she react when you told her that you had to do that?
She became enraged, furious. She texted me close to 100 times in the next few hours, including during the show, in which she sent threatening messages. She called me before the show started, and she said that she was going to drop that fetal alcohol baby off at your house and go party the night away. She then told me that she was going to the next few hours, including during the show, in which she sent threatening messages. She called me before the show started, and she said that she was going to drop that fetal alcohol baby off at your house and go party the night away. She then told me.
Okay. So she's working real hard at this manipulation to get him to come over. And he's like, I got a show tonight. Like, he's way more organized than I am, obviously, if you haven't noticed. And one of these attributes that he has is in being organized and having an organized show is he has set days and times for his show. Like, I decided 2 hours ago I wanted to go live. You know? Like, I decided 2 hours ago I was going to go live. So, like, he's committed to this. He's committed to this. Because the whole thing is I could wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm going to do a live tonight, and then be like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do it. Fuck that. Because I don't have a set time. I didn't already commit to something. He's already committed to Tuesdays and Saturdays. Now, these times are subject to change, of course. It's his fucking show. You do whatever the fuck he wants. What I'm saying is, he knows that his followers are expecting to watch him Tuesday and Saturday nights. These are not small chats that he has. So he's already committed to his listeners, his watchers, his viewers, I should say. And so she calls him right before his show starts to tell him that she's going to drop that fetal baby off and dance the night away, party the night away. What did she say? I got to hear that shit one more time. It's fucking ridiculous.
Close to 100 times in the next few hours, including during the show, in which
she called and texted him close to 100 times in the next few hours before the show. Look at the judge's face. The judge is like, what the fuck? This judge is like, my dude, I'm sorry to hear that, bruh. Like, every dude has been here. Almost every woman has been there too. Like, every dude, every woman has been here. Just to be fair. Okay, Cherry. Okay, Cherry. Just to be fair. You don't throw a conniption. Yeah, like, everybody's dealt with this. Some obsessed significant other that's just blowing up your fucking phone. And you're like, dude, are you serious?
directing messages. She called me before the show started, and she said that she was going to drop that fetal alcohol baby off at your house and go party the night away. Then told me,
drop that fetal alcohol baby off at your house and party the night away. Now, I hate to do this to you guys, but let's explore the visual on that. Let's explore that for a second. Just try to think about how, like, first of all, that's some like Renaissance shit. That's some like frontier woman shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like a hooker in the Wild West kind of shit. That she's just gonna spit out an unwanted fetus on some dude's doorstep and go back and just start pounding vodka and whiskey. Yeehaw! Get railed by God knows who right after that happened. Dude, I can't.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
What? Just the fact that she would even have thought of this, the fact that this would even be conceived in her mind, says all you need to know about her, much less that it came out of her face out loud to the guy that she's trying to keep attracted to her. Are we getting the perspective here, folks? I mean, no, dude. See, I don't want to hear that shit, dude. I don't want to hear that shit. Victim blaming goes both ways, dude. Okay? It goes both ways. Victim blaming totally goes both ways. Because at this point, he's already where he wants to break up with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, he saw enough crazy, and it's his prerogative, just like it's any woman's prerogative, to decide what your limit is, to decide when you decide, okay, I've put as much into this as I feel comfortable putting into it, and I'm done. Like, that is up to any human being, anybody, to create those boundaries and set them and enforce them. So I'm not going to listen to people talk about, oh, well, he should have fucking never went over there, blah, 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 blah. Like, of course, like, I'll concede to it for the sake of semantics. He should have listened to his lawyer. That's all I'll say. But as far as his manhood goes and why he did it, I absolutely understand why he felt he had a battle in his mind over, listen to my lawyer, do what's morally correct. Is it morally sound for me? Am I going to be able to live with myself if I follow my lawyer's advice in this particular instance? I can absolutely understand that. And if you can't, you're a fool. Sarah, be creative. Thank you so much for the and not the okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, like I get that. And I'm not saying it was the right choice to make. That's not up to me to fucking make that judgment, to pass that fucking judgment, whether or not it was the right or wrong choice to make. That's not your place to pass that fucking judgment either. The bottom line is, here we are. The bottom line is, had she actually been a morally sound, ethical person and was actually pregnant, he would have never went to jail. She would have kept up her end of that little exchange of trust. And he would have held her hand and done what he had to do. The problem was, she's a fucking lying piece of shit, using the worst kind of thing to gaslight a man's masculinity. The worst kind of thing. So I don't want to hear that shit.
That she was going, that if, because I was ending with her and not coming over, that she said, if you think 9 felonies are bad, wait till you see what's coming next. And apparently that is this.
At some point, did you become aware that she was communicating with members of the Albert and McCabe families, people that were adverse to your investigation in the research?
I did.
And give the court a brief nutshell about that.
A woman by the name of Kate Peter, who is a woman who's somewhat obsessed with me and just focuses her life on me. She began to
all facts.
Make tweets, put tweets out about very sensitive personal information that I had only pulled. And one particular thing involved my 8-year-old daughter. She posted something out to the effect of Aiden doesn't bond well with his daughter. He doesn't even love her. And I had previously had a conversation with Lindsay in which I said that it was easier to bond with my son because we have more in common than it was with my daughter. She also posted I was signed to do a documentary. I've signed with a major production company out of Los Angeles and partnered with another company in Boston. And I had told her on November 21st the names of the 2 producers, Levy and Charlie Siskel. And on somewhere around December 13th or 14th, Kate Peter posted the names Charlie Siskel and Eric, and that they were doing the documentary. and she's known to harass people that are associated with me. And as a direct result of that, the documentary was put on.
All right. So at that point, it's fair to say that you had a strong suspicion that she was the one, that Ms. Gattani was the one that was feeding this information to Ms. Peter, who regularly attacks you on.
That's correct.
Did Ms. Gattani admit to you that she was in communication with the lead policeman who was prosecuting you and the special ADA that was appointed to prosecute?
She told me that when I was over her house on the 23rd.
Did she say what the topic of her communications with them was relative to you?
She said that when she spoke with Ken Mel, that
Mazza, what's up, homie?
And said, I only went to them out of anger. If I could take it back, I would.
Hey,
I'm so sorry. And
real quick, man, I gotta plug my man shit. Mazza has a fundraiser tomorrow for Aiden Turtleboy. I think tomorrow at 6, is it, Mazza? Where you go over your top 25 favorite movies. I'm really interested in that. I can't wait to watch that. So yeah, guys, make sure 6 p.m. Eastern. Check out Mazza Media tomorrow, fundraiser for Turtleboy. Got some things in the works in the future myself, folks. Got some things in the works. Trying to time these things. And yeah. And other things. But yeah. But we got yeah, I got some stuff in the old noodle. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start reaching out to people for it. But yeah, man, of course. Yes. And I know you will. You always do, bro. Maz is fucking awesome.
I forgave her because I felt like she was doing the right thing. And I said, it's okay, I forgive you, and we can fix this. It's gonna be okay.
Before we move on there, you saw a reference in her affidavit about how you wanted to control the involvement of the
Yo, Bang Bang Kiss Kiss ain't been here in a minute, bro. Bang Bang Kiss Kiss goes way back to like
lawyer,
like maybe even from like my first live streams.
That you were offering to help, right?
Correct. That's what she said.
Is that true?
No.
What did you say to her just in general about offering to help her in terms of getting a lawyer to get her out of this when she came to you in that regard?
Lieutenant Tully had specifically told her. He went to her and said,
hold on, where are you getting that from?
From her.
Okay. So what did she tell you? Tully told you.
When Tully came to her house, he said, I just came from court with Aiden. He has his new girlfriend there. He replaced you real quick. And he also went on.
So
that was strike that last day. Unresponsive.
What did she
tell you? What?
She general about it.
Correct. That's what she said. And I said, it's okay. I forgave her because I felt like she was doing the right thing. And I said, it's okay. I forgive you, and we can fix this. It's gonna be okay.
Before we move on there, you saw a reference in her affidavit about how you wanted to control the involvement of the lawyer that you were offering to help, right?
Correct. That's what she said.
Is that true?
No.
What did you say to her just in general about offering to help her in terms of getting a lawyer to get her out of this when she came to you in that regard?
Lieutenant Tully had specifically told her. He went to her and said,
hold on, where are you getting that from?
From her.
Okay. So what did she tell you? Tully told you.
When Tully came to her house, he said, I just came from court with Aiden. He has his new girlfriend there. He replaced you real quick. And he also went on.
So
that was strike that last day. Unresponsive.
What did she tell you that the police were there and the prosecutor were in communication with her for?
That she said that she went to them out of anger and that she was worried that I would post naked images of her or something like that. And that Ken Mello told her, we will make you a witness in this trial so that way he can't write about it. And there will be witness intimidation.
Did she tell you whether or not they wanted her phone?
Yes, she said that he was demanding her phone. He was giving her two options. Either she could, Lieutenant Tully was demanding her phone, and that either she could hand over her phone and download, or they could sit next to each other and she could screenshot our entire conversation and send it to him. And he did not have a warrant to do this, and I advised her to get him.
And with respect to this business about you being done with Gattani and having another girlfriend in the court, and that you were done with Ms. Gattani, was any of that true?
No, that's why.
What did Ms. Gattani tell you that she said to the officers about giving up her phone?
She said she didn't want to give up the phone. And this is the reason she had ultimately kind of come back to me, that she said
Now,
that she...
for those of you who think that Aiden is enjoying this, all you have to do is look at him in these hearings. Like, this dude is angry that he has to be standing up there doing this shit. Like, he's pissed off. Like, just because when he does live streams, you know, he's funny and he's, you know, animated and whatever, you know, like, and it what you're seeing here doesn't mean that he's not amped to fight back. What I'm saying, though, is don't think that he's enjoying it. Don't think that it's fun for him, because you can see in his face right here that it's clearly not. At any given time, these people can snap their fingers and decide he committed a felony with words.
was just angry and didn't want to, you know, she just did it out of anger. But now that she got a summons, and now that they wanted her phone, she was freaking out and didn't know what to do. So she came back to me looking for comfort and offered her all this information.
So it's fair to say that at that particular point in time, circumstances changed to suit her to go back to you for assistance. Did she report to you what Lieutenant Tully told her about whether she should have a lawyer for the stranger?
She did.
What did he say?
She said that she does not need a lawyer, and that in 99.9% of grand juries do not have attorneys.
Did she ever say anything to you about what exactly they wanted her to testify about?
She did.
What was that?
We wanted information about Kearney. We wanted information specifically about the FBI investigation into Lieutenant Tully. And they wanted information about Karen Reed's relationship with United States Attorney Josh Levy, and whether or not I had been paid by the Karen Reed defense team.
Judge, objection for relevance.
What's relevant?
Your Honor, it presents a full picture of the relationship.
It does present a full picture of the relationship. It's absolutely relevant. This is this lawyer's game. It's not relevant, but the problem is it paints a big scope. It's showing that she was used by willingly, but used by civil servants of the county of Norfolk. This is troubling. Civil servants of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This is extremely troubling. I mean, he was locked up under false circumstances. This is a fact. We've heard the recordings. So it's absolutely relevant to show this is why she's did the things that she did. This is why his bail was revoked. Not because the things that she says happened. We're trying to prove to you something very opposite happened. And then this guy's going, it's not relevant. You're talking about the Karen Reed case. It's not relevant. No. It's related to the Karen Reed case. Make no mistake. This was about the Karen Reed case. This was about Turtleboy going to jail, hopefully destroying his credibility. So arrogant as to think that they wouldn't be martyring him and building his popularity. So this is what's really fascinating here, because this is still all about the Karen Reed case. Everyone who pressed charges against him are witnesses in the Karen Reed case. They all pulled together, hooked up with Michael Morrissey. They recruited Ken Mello and pulled this shit. That's all. It's not complicated. What's up, Lauren?
It directly contradicts her affidavit, and it shows her credibility such as it is.
There's a difference between a full picture and giving way beyond the sort of context and backstory that is necessary. And thank you.
Did Miss Catani send you a picture of this son?
She did.
The very cops that showed up to Aiden's house, tracked his kid's school bus, took his tech, are the very cops he was accusing of being corrupt in the Karen Reed case. That's a coincidence? Out of all the cops in the Massachusetts State Police, you had to send them? They wanted to do it. They wanted to be the ones to do it. It was a total flex. It was a total fuck you. It was a way to spit in his face. It was a way to intimidate him. Because that's all this is about. To intimidate him into silence. That's all this has been about. I don't get what's so complicated about it. All the dots connect. They all connect. And very, like visibly.
And what happened with respect to that?
We spoke on the phone about it, and she said that she wanted me to come over that night. And I then contacted you about it. I wasn't sure if it was real or not. And you advised me not to come over. She told me not to come over there. And so
Did she say what she was going to do in retaliation to that?
she said that she was going to have, I forget her exact wording, but something to the effect that she was going to have to do what she needed to do to benefit herself.
Did she say whether or not she was going to disclose her alleged pregnancy?
She did. She told that she was going to tell the grand jury about the baby.
Objection again, Judge, for relevance.
So this is the relevance we just said. She's luring him over to the house in contradiction to her affidavit. Is this when she gave you some details on how she was?
How is a direct contradiction to what she stated on a sworn affidavit? How is that not relevant?
Operating with the other side, so to speak, in the Reed case?
Yes, later on, I wondered how they would even know who she is. She's a
So yes. And so Judge, just in the interest of time, I'm just going to move on from that, but I believe that was already fleshed out. And is that when she engaged in her apologies as we discussed on cross-examination?
Yeah, we spoke on the phone, but originally on Facebook and then on the phone from about 12:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. in which she was crying and saying how sorry she was. And she seemed genuinely empathetic, and I felt bad. I really did, even though she had done me wrong and betrayed me, and I still felt empathy for her because she was in a tough situation and I was willing to help her out.
I mean, what you testified to is basically a shakedown of a woman. Did you feel sympathy from Ms. Catani?
Absolutely. I nothing was heartbroken for her. I told her that.
So I asked you earlier about what the police asked her, and you mentioned some things about their interest in the investigation with respect to the FBI. But my question now is, did Ms. Catani ever tell you anything about what these officers?
Hey.
Hey, can you see if you can get those Morrissey emails?
I can try.
You're live, by the way. Everyone expects more of you.
You're a
than
fucking
that.
asshole.
Why I gotta be all that?
Because you are. I don't know why you're an asshole. You just decide to be.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
may have wanted her to testify to about an investigation into you.
She said that actually that she didn't think they were looking for me so much as they were looking for Kearney because she knew.
Judge, objection. Again, relevance.
Did she ever report anything to you about why they wanted her to testify about you and an investigation into you?
Yes, she said that she had been telling them about my relationship with Karen Reed and I had spoken before, and they believed that Karen Reed might have told me something about the grand jury investigation into them, and that I might have told Lindsay who might offer that information.
Sure, wow. That's really just still information about the other case. Was there ever any report from Ms. Gattani about what Tully and the other guy wanted her to testify to about you?
Yeah, they wanted to know about whether or not I was being paid, whether or not my Lexus was receiving.
By who though?
By Karen Reed.
By people involved in the Reed.
Correct.
So again, I'm going to ask you again, relative to you and any criminal behavior by you.
No, to my knowledge, she never talked about my case.
You were talking about your conversations with Ms. Gattani in early December of 2023. Do you recall that?
Yes.
All right. And you heard Ms. Gattani say that in the vicinity of December 9th that she didn't want you to contact her anymore. She wanted to get away from you, and that was it. Or words to that effect. Is that right?
That's what the update said.
All right. Can you recall how many times after that date Ms. Gattani reached out to you via text and email?
I guess hundreds.
May I approach her? I'm going to show you this document.
I mean, why is it so hard? Like, he recorded her. It's clear that he was trying to leave and that she lied on a sworn affidavit. This case should be closed.
You know what that document is, right?
Those are all of our text messages from December 9th on.
Right. And what did the highlights portion show?
The highlights were when she messages me after December 9th.
All right. And is it fair to say that the pages from December 9th to the present are covered in yellow highlighter?
Yeah, it goes back about 9 or 10 pages here.
All right. Thank you. Is it fair to say that the spreadsheet of text messages covers hundreds of yellow highlighted text messages from her?
That's correct.
Did you do anything to force her or cause her to contact you?
No, she initiated contact. She actually initiated contact from her son's phone on December 15th.
And what were some of the
exactly
requests in the
exactly. That's, I mean, if it's proven that she fucking lied, then that's it.
contact when she used her son's phone?
While using her son's phone, she attempted to engage me in sex and said she missed the dick.
She invited you over for sex?
Using her son's phone.
And
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the objection?
Relevant.
It's not relevant that she used her kid's phone to tell him that she missed his dick. Dude, if I'm to the point where like I'm dating a girl and the kid has my number, all right. And then I get that text coming through from the kid, I'm going to freak the fuck out. I'm going to call her up and go, what the fuck is going on? Are you using your kid's phone? I sure fucking hope so. And if so, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, what?
State counsel was overruled. Then in 1221, did Miss Gattani initiate conversation on that date?
Well, yeah, we had sex the day before.
And did she send photographs to you of a sexual nature?
Yes.
And not just to remain polite, but just what were the nature of that?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
So with respect to the cell phone, how did you learn it was her son's cell phone?
She told me.
So she invited you over for sex on 12/15?
Yeah, so we.
Just yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. 12/21, is that the date that you received another sexually oriented photo?
Yes.
Was there a sexually oriented request?
Yeah, she said she wanted to have a threesome that night.
What's the relevance of this line of questioning, counsel?
Your Honor, the relevance is that Gattani is claiming that she wants to get away from my client, that she's scared of him, and yet she's constantly pursuing
I
him
think the
for
fact that the
sexual relations.
Okay.
Right. It's absolutely relevant because it's contradictory to her sworn statements. What the fuck are you talking about? It's totally relevant. Like, she's doing everything she can. The threesome thing, also a manipulation tactic, because if that was just a natural dynamic between you and that person, that shit would have happened way earlier, bro. Okay? Way earlier. That shit is right there a red flag of manipulation right now. Her saying, hey, I think it'd be really hot if we had a threesome with another chick. Like, I'd be like, dude, you're trying to fucking corner me, bro. Like, no, that's a nightmare. That's going to be a fucking disaster. Like, that's a disaster waiting to happen. No, fuck you. Like, the risk of having two of you? No. Yeah, no, those are delicate scenarios. Like, I know there's some dudes that are out there that are like, dude, if the situation presents itself, man, fucking yeah. I'm trying to tell you, man, be selective when it comes to that. It's a lot. You're way better off. Trust me. Think about it. What's worse than one crazy? Tara Stickstat, thank you so much. LG Poor Man's Amber Heard as KP is Taylor Shabiz. Taylor Shabiznes. Yeah, bro. Taylor Shabiznes is something else, man. That is like a demon straight from hell, bro. Taylor Shabiznes has no business in society, bro. Taylor should no business in society. None. She does not deserve to walk amongst the rest of us. We do not deserve to be subjected to her walking among the rest of us. It is a better way to put it. She's terrible. Like, every chance she gets to get violent, she takes it. And then you just look at the nature of the crime. Like, no. Like, Krusty Panties is just like, she's just gonna fuck around and land herself in jail one day. You know what I mean? Like, that's all she is. She thinks that she's a lot more effective and, you know, and a threat than she is. Like, she just fantasizes about being this scourge on the internet. I'm Kate Peter and I'm gonna come after you. No, dude, that's not threatening at all. You look stupid. You look pathetic. Just pathetic. Like, that's your whole, you fucking said on Jess Machado's fucking, on her launch, bro, of her first live stream, the first thing that came out of your mouth was you bragging about how you pride yourself as being this person who, you know, I'm not on the internet and everyone hates me and like that. You thought that made you look cool? No, dude. Like, why would you? How is that a flex? How is that a flex? I spend all my time fucking with people on the internet, trying to make them hate me.
Thank you. I'll ask another question. Did you ever say anything when you left her house? Fast forwarding to the night in question here, 12/23. Did you say anything when you left the house?
No, we just fell asleep and just left quietly.
Did you say this is war, as it states in the police report?
Absolutely not.
Now, just want to ask you, the last thing I want to ask you about is the 23rd. Describe for the court the circumstances behind how you came to go to her house. Why did you go to her house?
So we had the night before from 12:32. She apologized. She admitted that she had been in contact with Ken Mello, Holly, with Captain Peter, all while outwardly supporting me. She said she did it out of pure anger after we broke up on December 9th, and that she wanted to invite me over to show me all the text messages because she didn't feel comfortable taking screenshots of them and sending them to me. So I went over there and I told her beforehand, I can't sleep over. I'm just here to look through your phone and see the screenshots. And she was okay with that. We agreed to meet in the conference room area. We did for approximately 2 hours. She voluntarily showed me her phone. That was the whole purpose of being there. And around 11 o'clock, one of her sons woke up and we had to go into her apartment. And when we went in there, she began.
Let me stop you right there. So you're down in the conference room and her kids are upstairs?
She lives on the first floor. Yes.
Okay. So she's not in her apartment and the kids are in the apartment?
That's correct.
And how did she come to get that knowledge that the kids were awake?
She had the ring camera video on her house. And I believe one of her sons, like the 12-year-old, learned.
And what did you and she do in response to the 12-year-old?
We went into her apartment and she.
Dude, and Aiden is like on point with everything. Like he's just on point. Now, this is edited to where like there's very little dead air, but he remembers his answers quite vividly.
And unplug all of her surveillance because I was suspicious that she would be recording it. She'd recorded me in the past, and so she began to unplug it.
If he couldn't be this, if he couldn't have this attention to detail, well, then he wouldn't really be Turtleboy, would he? You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't be very effective as an investigative independent journalist, would he?
Everything, and then we sat down at around 11, and for about 3.5 hours, we went all of the messages between her and Captain Peter between December 11th and December 23rd.
When you say was it we or was it just you taking her phone and stealing it from her to do it what you would with it?
I never touched her phone. She was in complete control of the phone the whole time.
How did she proffer the information to you when she did?
She would scroll through the messages, and I would sit there taking notes about what I was seeing.
And at some point, you assembled 5 pages of notes?
Yes, Jenn McCabe.
What a ridiculous situation that is. Like I'm visualizing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm totally visualizing her being like, no, you're not going to go through my phone. No, I don't trust you. Okay, well, can you just fucking like, all right, I got a pen and a paper because I'm a fucking journalist. So I'm going to fucking take notes and you're going to fucking scroll through and fucking, you're going to read them to me and I'm going to take notes. Okay. How's that? Just so I can get the fuck out of here that much quicker, please. Like unreal. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine just like, dude, just let me fucking just send me the screenshots. What's the problem?
And that's the alleged co-conspirator from the Reed case?
Correct.
Did she talk to you about how she came to be involved with Ms. Katani?
Yeah, she said that Peter put her in touch with Jennifer McCabe on December 13th, and that Jennifer McCabe.
Oh, Grandmaster.
What's the relevance of this question? I know there's no objection.
I'll withdraw it.
Focus on that line.
Sure. And so the general idea, without getting into too much specifics.
Dude, man, like I spent like an hour before this stream started trying to figure out how to change the handles, in the chat. Like I can't figure it out. I looked YouTube settings. I looked everywhere. I tried to Google it and then AI just came back with telling me how to change my handle. And I was like, no, bro, like that's not what I asked. You know what I mean? If I hadn't put it in writing, you know what I mean? Like maybe AI would have misheard me, but I fucking wrote it, spelt it out easy. You know what I'm saying? Quite clear and very articulate. And came back totally misunderstanding my shit. Like artificial, not so intelligence.
Is she willingly proffering you her phone or are you taking it from her?
Oh yeah, I was willingly proffering. It was that was the whole purpose.
Did you express any anger or hostility towards her?
No, I expressed sadness and disappointment reading how she was, saying horrible things about me in the messages. But I said I forgave her and I was happy and proud that she was coming forward and doing the right thing.
Did you ever tell her to lie anywhere or misrepresent anything or delete anything or get rid of anything?
I told her the exact opposite. I told her just tell the truth because there's nothing to hide.
Bro, can you imagine, dude? Like a really exaggerated fucking version of that scenario, bro. It's just like it's just like I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. All right, can I get the fuck out of here now? Is that cool? Can I just go? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, lady. All this crazy, bro. All this crazy.
We haven't done anything wrong, and there's nothing. This is a fishing expedition. There's nothing to see here.
What about the lawyer? Did you try to set up some scheme with a lawyer that would report to you instead of her? Anything to that effect?
She said she couldn't afford a lawyer, and I said I'll message my friend Mike Ehrlich. And so I messaged my friend Mike Ehrlich, he's an attorney in Worcester, on Facebook. I haven't seen if he's gotten back to me because I haven't had 2 weeks. But
were you trying to help her or arrange something for yourself?
No, I was trying to help her because she seemed desperate and sad, and I felt bad for her because she seemed very scared. She kept saying how scared she was because they wanted her phone, and she was also scared because she specifically said, how am I going to get out of this situation with Kate Peter? If she finds out I'm talking to you, then she's going to post pictures of me and she's going to come after me.
And incidentally, with respect to Ms. Gattani's testimony that she was afraid you were going to post sexual pictures of her in retaliation, do you recall that?
I heard her testimony, yes.
Did she spend the entire month of December sending you sexual pictures?
Yeah, we exchange sexual pictures almost every day.
At some point, just for the court, just tell the court when it was you engaged in sexual relations that night with her.
So after we finished reading her voluminous text messages with Catherine Peter at 2:30, we were on the couch and she started kissing me and then started.
See, man, listen, it's nice if you got somebody who's sexy and is always sending you sexy pics. It's nice. But the problem with that is generally the only women who do that are fucking crazy. Generally speaking, out of experience, generally speaking, the only women who do this are fucking crazy. Like, you just can't, can't win them all, bro. Like, peanut butter and chocolate haven't found each other yet. You know what I mean? Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Feeling my pants and she started giving me oral sex. And so we had sex for about 20, 30 minutes. And then around 3 o'clock, I said, I have to go home now because I told her before, I can't sleep over. It's the 23rd going into the 24th. And she didn't like that answer at all. She said, you used me, like something snapped in her. And she immediately began putting her clothes on and went into the living room and took my notes and ripped several pages of them out and stuffed them down her shirt.
Did you touch her in any way at that point?
No, I asked her several times, can I have them back? And the next day I even texted her. I said, can I have those notes back? I mean, that's my property. It's what I spent hours working on over there. I would never try to take some. I knew they were in her shirt, but I wasn't going to touch her against her will. And so
what happened next?
So what happened next was, to keep me around, she then took the abortion pills, the 4 abortion pills that she didn't take 2 weeks prior, but they wouldn't be effective.
Well, what happened next?
Okay. Is it fair to say that the subject of the conversation went back to the alleged pregnancy?
Oh, wait, the abortion pills that you took 2 weeks ago, those are the ones you have now. And you're going to take them now. Okay, I got it.
Just yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the outcome of that conversation with respect to what you did or what she did?
Well, I saw her take what she claimed to be the 4 abortion pills. She put them in her cheek like this. She spit one of them out, but she put it back in her mouth. And then she started taking all sorts of other drugs. She went through and started taking, I don't know what these were, but bottle after bottle, popping pills. And she told me that now I've taken the abortion pill. Now I'm going to be in pain for the next 3 hours. you have to stay, you can't leave. I was trying to leave, and she was doing what she needed to do to make sure that I couldn't leave.
What happened next?
So after that, I eventually did walk out the door, and then she came running out the door and said, if you leave, I'm gonna kill myself, and I'm gonna blame you. I'm gonna put you in the note. And so I was scared. She's screaming. She has 4 kids in the house. So I agreed to go back inside the house, and she continued
And that's not an exaggeration. She was fucking screaming, dude.
berate me and threaten me. And I kept telling her, I have to go. And she said, no, you can't. I took these pills. I'm going to be in pain. You can't leave me here. So finally, she started screaming for all of her kids to wake up. And the 5-year-old came out.
Did she announce some sort of a plan as to why she's waking all of her kids up at
She
3
said,
in the morning?
she said she was going to wake them up, to put them into the car, to drive to my house so that mommy can bleed out in the driveway and tell his family about the baby he just aborted. And the 5-year-old walked out, and it was horrible. He had a look of absolute horror.
Next question, please.
At some point, did she settle down?
No.
Did she go to sleep at any point after this?
So eventually I agreed, because I was scared for the children, what she was going to do to them. I agreed to sit on the couch. And I sat on the couch, and she went in the other room and pretended to pass the baby. And I finally waited for her to fall asleep. At 5 o'clock, I left. I was so tired that on the way home, I fell asleep behind the wheel of my car, and I crashed on 495.
At any point during this interaction, December 23rd, 2023, did you put your hand on Ms. Gattani anywhere?
Absolutely not.
Did you grab her wrist?
Not at all.
Did you grab her shoulder?
No.
Did you push her into the couch?
Absolutely not.
Did you put?
Okay. Do you have an Instagram account?
I did.
Roughly how many followers do you have?
I believe 25,000.
He has more than double that now.
And you have a Facebook account?
This is January of 2024. He has almost double that.
How many followers?
More than double that.
42,000.
Okay. And do you broadcast to these followers? I believe you testified earlier, 2 days a week.
On YouTube, I broadcast 2 days a week, correct.
But are you actively engaged with your followers?
Do I actively engage?
Yes. Do you tweet? Do you post things?
I use social media frequently.
Generally about what?
Every day.
What do you generally post about?
The stories I'm writing about.
Okay. And do you ever use that following to put together protests?
Sure.
Rallies?
Yes.
Do you use bullhorn?
I've used the bullhorn before.
And have you shown up to witnesses' homes with that bullhorn before?
So how is this relevant?
Protesting, correct.
Okay. You testified that there was some explicit photographs exchanged between the two of you. Is that correct? Have you ever been in a relationship prior to the relationship with Ms. Gattani where you shared explicit photographs?
Yes.
Have you ever posted those photographs online?
After jerk off videos, yes.
So what you just testified.
So if you just answer the question.
Yes, I have.
So what you're saying is you've used photos from prior relationships and posted them online before?
Yes.
Okay. And was the other person upset about that?
Well, the other person posted pictures of me masturbating, so I posted pictures of her.
Okay, on a public website?
Just like she did, correct.
And did you alert your followers, your hundreds of thousands of followers, to view those images?
Absolutely not.
Okay. You said that my client was screaming the morning after you left their apartment on the 24th, I guess, morning. You said she was screaming?
Correct.
And that was outside the apartment?
It was inside the apartment mostly, but there was one brief episode outside.
Okay, and did anybody hear that outside of any of the neighbors?
I don't know.
No one woke up and no one came out and checked on her?
No, I was back in the apartment.
Okay. One moment, Your Honor. I believe you testified earlier that you're familiar with metadata because you have experience as an online journalist.
That's right.
Familiar with editing videos, would you say?
No.
No, you don't know how to edit a video? You have no idea how to post a video on your YouTube channel?
I know how to post a video.
So do you know how to edit the content of those videos on your YouTube channel?
No, something a boomer.
What is that?
It means I'm not familiar with that aspect of video producing.
So you're not
right. Yeah. His edited videos are done by someone else. A lot of YouTube creators do this.
Not familiar with editing videos, but you are familiar with how to decipher metadata on cellular telephones.
Yeah, you just click on it, it shows you the metadata.
And that's your extent of knowledge on how to discover metadata?
Yeah, it's not complicated.
Okay, so, okay. And you've never edited a video before?
Edited a video?
Yeah.
No, I have somebody else that edits videos.
Okay, who's that?
Her name's Laura, she does my YouTube channel.
Okay, and do you ever instruct her to edit videos?
No.
She has full discretion on what to post on her YouTube channel?
So if she'll take clips of things that I've done on the show, like funny clips, and she'll make highlight reels of them, like basically what she does.
Okay, but do you have authority on what is posted?
Yeah, I mean, I've uploaded videos, sure.
Okay, so you can upload the video, but your colleague Lauren edits the video?
No, if I upload it, then it's as it is.
After the incident, did you ever upload any videos related to her?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you post about her on your blog?
I posted about her on my blog.
Did you post about her on any of your social media accounts?
No, I've never mentioned her name publicly at all on any social media.
But you did upload a video of a conversation between the two of you?
Yes, without saying her name.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
You may be seated.
That's a really weak cross-examination. And the reason for that, my guess, is not because the guy's a bad lawyer. He might be, I don't know, but because the evidence is in Aiden's favor, clearly.
Your Honor, I can give a report if I may on Ms. Barrett. She's been texting one of the members of the defense team, and she now is saying that she has COVID and she doesn't want to come in. So I want to ask the court to, in light of that, I want to ask the court to allow me to recall Mr. Kearney about he knows Ms. Barrett, and she reached out to him a couple of times, and I would question him about the interaction, subject to cross-examination.
Want Mr. Kearney to testify to what?
So in the days following this incident, Your Honor, Ms. Barrett reached out to Mr. Kearney, and Mr. Kearney knows Ms. Barrett from having visited there several times when Ms. Barrett was babysitting, so they know each other. Ms. Barrett was one of Mr. Kearney's followers on Facebook, and they know each other. They're friendly, and that's from Mr. Kearney being at Ms. Catani's house from time to time. And the offer of proof would be, Your Honor, that Ms. Barrett reached out to Mr. Kearney and told Mr. Kearney the same thing that I was proffering.
When did she reach out?
On the 25th and 26th, they spoke on the phone, and the similar information that we were going to offer through Mr. Chiappetta, our investigator, was related to Mr. Kearney. And when Mr. Kearney reported that to me, I said, okay, Mr. Chiappetta, get out there and get a statement. So it actually originates with Mr. Kearney.
Did you get a written statement from her?
Mr. Chiappetta did. Well, no, Mr. Chiappetta spoke with her. She didn't want to cooperate. She didn't want to testify. She didn't want to sign a statement. So Mr. Chiappetta, he wrote a statement about his interaction with her. And so it's Mr. Chippetta's statement. But Mr. Kearney took the same information from her. That's what prompted us to send our investigator. Excuse me one second.
Have you heard on this?
And the offer of proof would be that Ms. Barrett was calling Mr. Kearney from when she was inside of Ms. Catani's house, right at the time this happened.
Your Honor, this is
You mean this witness was in the home?
Yes, babysitting.
On the 24th?
And 26th, Your Honor, and called Mr. Kearney and reported this to Mr. Kearney. So the original recipient of it is Mr. Kearney, not Mr. Chiappetta. After hearing this from Mr. Kearney, I then dispatched Mr. Chiappetta to get a statement. Mr. Kearney was locked up, and so I sent Mr. Chiappetta to get a statement.
She's under a subpoena to be here, right?
She's now saying she has COVID. That's what she said. I don't know. That's what she's saying. So
Did she say that this morning?
no, I think that's a recent fabrication, as we might say. But this morning it was related to one of the members of the defense team.
Where is she? Is she in Norwood right now?
I have no idea. She didn't pick up the phone this morning.
Who spoke with her?
Ms. Lombardi, and she's one of Mr. Kearney's friends who's been helping us with the marshaling all this various tips and people and everything else. And she informed Ms. Lombardi that she would call the court and say that she was sick, I think, or something to that effect, Your Honor. So she clearly doesn't want to be here. You know, I don't want to, if she has COVID supposedly, and she's this reluctant, and she's related to
2024, bro. Like, I haven't heard anybody, like, there's like 2 people that I knew that tested positive for COVID when it was like even a thing. You know what I mean? Like, based on everything Bradle's saying, COVID sounds like bullshit.
Mr. Chiappetta and Mr. Kearney, that she doesn't want to testify.
I understand she being reluctant, but she's a key witness as far as your client.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
And I would rather hear from her than hearing from an investigator or hearing from Mr. Kearney or hearing from Ms. Katana. I'd rather hear from her under oath, subject to your examination and cross-examination by counsel.
Sure.
Because if she is saying, you made it up, you're saying that she has, have you spoken to her?
No, I have not spoken to her. Judge. I don't want to be a witness. That's why I had my
So
investigator
your
do it.
investigator says she will testify that Ms. Katani had a conversation with her and Ms. Katani stated.
All right. Come back to something else. Bro, last night I watched I binge watched this show called it was like British. Like now there's this thing called BritBox that comes with, you get like all these British shows with HBO. And I watched this one. It was like a true crime miniseries about what was it called? The Sixth Commandment, which is not a really great title, but it was good, man. Like it was a true story. And yeah, it was like this dude named Ben Field, and he oh man, you had me going there for a second, Kevin Keane. Ben Field, this guy, he targeted like people, like it was crazy. He would target people and like old people. He targeted this old man who was just retired. And the old man was gay, but he was like really Christian, so he'd like never been with anyone. Like the guy was basically just a saint. And this guy, Ben Field, like totally like seduced him and said he was in love with him, and then like they got like married, like sort of and like, and he would just drug him, and the guy would go into these crazy hallucinations, and he fell down the stairs one time, and eventually the guy just he drugged him and poisoned him, and he died. Or no, he suffocated him, but he faked it and left like a half a bottle of whiskey. And yeah, and it wasn't even that long ago. That's what's crazy about it. It wasn't even that long ago. Just nobody thought that the deaths were suspicious because they were old, and they didn't put together until like this lady's niece figured it out, told the cops. It's crazy. I'm thinking about starting Luther right now. What I did, I just fucking, dude, I don't know why I did it to myself. I started Boardwalk Empire again, because I started watching it when it was on. Same old story, right? Like I wait a season, and then when the new season starts, I'm totally lost, and I can't follow it, and then I gotta wait every week, and then I just can't watch shows like that anymore. Like I just don't have the attention span for it. So so now, because TV shows didn't used to be like that, man. You know, when you were a kid, it was just who gives a shit. You know, like you didn't have to follow it. You know, that's why I like SVU. SVU's been on forever. Great formula, because you don't have to have seen the last episode to get. These days, you kind of do. They kind of changed the format. But back when it was all Stabler and Benson, dude, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if you saw any of the ones before or not. Yeah, so hold on. Let me see something. I don't think. What the? Okay, yeah, still nothing. No, I don't want that up. All right. Oh, yeah, Bloodline was good. I liked Bloodline. So what we're going to do now, I'll probably go over that other one tomorrow. What we're going to do now is we're going to We're going to celebrate Microdots' new video. Check that shit out. But I want to see those emails. All right.
A family, their friends, local police, state police, a DA, and
All right, stop what you're doing right now and go give this video a like. Oh, Nick Starro, what's up, buddy? Nick Starro and friends. Stop what you're doing right now and go give that video that I just dropped in the link. Just dropped the link in chat. Go give it a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already.
The person that looked for John O'Keefe was Karen Reed, his girlfriend who loved him. The person who gave...
This was Karen Reed in 2022, before Alan Jackson, before Turtleboy, and before thousands rallied to her side. She stood there with David Yannetti and her family, utterly terrified, and at the lowest point of the nightmare that was just beginning. But how did this happen? A conspiracy involving a family, their friends, local police, state...
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. And I'm subscribed to his Patreon. But I haven't watched it yet. And make sure to subscribe to his Patreon, people. Let me see if I could find it and put it in the chat.
Police, a DA and their allies doesn't just appear out of nowhere. There had to be warning signs. In the following presentation, we'll explore the underlying conditions that set the stage for all of this to happen. And in order to do that, we'll need to look back.
How far you going back? Way back. As we go a little something like this. Hit it. Here's a little gangster short side. The t-shirt Levi's, this is only just got. Like you, not only funerals, but driving. Well, I don't know. Motherfuckers like it ain't no thing.
I'm fucking logged out of my Patreon. That's so annoying.
Apparent hit and run. We have one male, early 20s, severely injured. One female victim is conscious and being transported to Rhode Island Medical.
Exchange student Peter Berger and his friend Peggy Lowe were driving on Route 95 at 3 a.m. when their vehicle was struck from behind, sending it careening into the concrete median. The other driver fled the scene. A John Doe warrant was issued for him by the Mass State Police. Berger was pronounced dead 2 hours later at Rhode Island Hospital. His female passenger was treated for minor injuries and released. Berger's parents were devastated, his father being quoted as saying, "He's lost his will to live." 30 hours later, after any alcohol he may have consumed wore off, 22-year-old Christopher Albert, accompanied by a lawyer, surrendered at the state police barracks in Foxborough.
Wow.
That lawyer's name was John Prescott and is the brother of Judge Beverly Kearney. Just one of the many murky ties she has to key figures on the Commonwealth side. It's an issue that's been nagging this judge for years.
And that therefore I have a connection to this case, and therefore I have a bias in favor of the Commonwealth.
Multiple witnesses driving in other vehicles reported seeing Albert's car speeding past them, miles before the crash even occurred. The Albert family's decision to use the high-priced, well-connected attorney paid off. Chris was sentenced to just 6 months in prison, managing to avoid the far more severe penalties that come with causing a fatal crash while under the influence of alcohol. Charges that could have landed him behind bars for up to 15 years. Court records mysteriously vanished, and he continued to conceal his conviction from the town, even as he rose to the position of selectman, until hiding it was no longer an option. The Albert boys learned a powerful lesson. When you're in trouble, obscuring the truth can be remarkably effective. This 1994 incident foreshadows the Karen Reed case in 2 important ways. It reveals a questionable connection to the judge's family. And it demonstrates that the Alberts have long known how to work the system when it's time to protect their own. Chris Albert left the scene of an accident without a shred of concern for the 2 people he'd just run off the road. If he had at least reported it, Berger may have survived.
And he needed help. Someone to make a phone call to 911, even anonymously. And there was only one person in this entire planet who could help him, give him a chance. And that one person who could help him.
Left him to die.
Wow.
Concerning Tim Albert.
Yeah, he looks just like Colin.
And this issue, or the investigation where charges were brought against Tim Albert.
So there was a call for a motor vehicle crash at the corner of Dedham and Washington Street. And the suspect vehicle had fled the scene.
He hit a car.
Yes.
With a woman in it. Fled the scene.
He followed the oil spill of the vehicle down Dedham Street, up Cedar Crest, all the way down to the intersection of Cedar Crest to Fairview, and the oil spill actually drove into 34 Fairview.
Then you find him trying to hide out at 34 Fairview. Did you give him a breathalyzer?
I did not.
Wow.
So you've been involved in an investigation where charges were actually taken out against a member of the Albert family.
We had to take out charges against Tim Albert.
The evidence in that case, you would agree with me, was strong against Tim Albert for that crime, was it not?
For leaving the scene, yes.
You didn't have much choice. I mean, there you have it. The evidence is right in front of you. You
Dude,
can't really cover
that
that
is
one
so
up, right?
crazy. The second time an Albert brother created a mess that had to be cleaned up. This time it was the youngest, Tim. And just like his older brother Chris, Tim's first instinct was to flee the scene, showing absolutely no concern for the person he had just harmed.
That is fucking crazy.
Officer Michael Lank didn't seem interested in finding out if he had been drinking. He probably didn't want to know. A clear pattern is emerging in how the Alberts respond when they're at risk of being implicated in a crime, and how in turn they are treated by local law enforcement. But the leniency Michael Lank
and Lank has so much history with them.
Showed Tim Albert, charging him with a misdemeanor that was eventually dismissed, instead of the more serious charge of leaving the scene of an accident with a possible DUI, still wasn't enough for Brian. During Michael Lank's voir dire in the first trial, Judge Kearney said something very interesting that most people missed, revealing what happens to you if you arrest an Albert.
The Commonwealth can then get into the animosity between the witness, Sergeant Lank, and Brian Albert because of the arrest of Tim Albert.
The Commonwealth never did get into that animosity, likely because it would have revealed Brian's well-known fiery temper and willingness to bully the local police, hurting the state's case more than helping it. It's important to remember that Tim Albert's arrest happened in 2009, the same year Brian Albert led the high-profile arrest of the Craigslist killer.
This was a brutal, vicious crime
savage. And it shows that Philip Markoff is a man who's willing to take advantage of women, to hurt them, to beat them, to rob them.
Police say they found a semi-automatic weapon, duct tape, and plastic restraints in Markoff's apartment.
Brian wielded serious power within law enforcement, along with a reputation for being aggressive, and it seems he wasn't afraid to use it to protect his family.
He didn't have a good reputation among fellow police officers. Known as a bully, had a history of sucker punching officers. He was investigated by BPD for violent conduct. He has a propensity for violence.
With respect to Brian,
I mean, that's your own man talking right there. Like, that's your own man talking right there. Like, I believe everything I hear about Brian Albert just by looking in his eyes. Just by looking in his eyes.
how would you describe your relationship with him?
Again, civil.
The two of you friends?
Civil.
Could you repeat that, please?
Are the two of you friends?
No.
Officer Lank got the message, loud and clear. You don't arrest an Albert, no matter the circumstances, or there will be consequences. Even if they hurt an innocent civilian, and the trail of evidence leads straight to their home. That warning likely echoed through the entire department, and it was almost certainly weighing on Lank's mind as he approached the door of 34 Fairview on the morning John's body was found.
He was the very first officer. He never should have walked in that front door. He should have said to his supervisors, I have a relationship with the Albert family. I've known them my whole life. I'm probably not the right person to make the decisions about this investigation.
In fact, Officer Lank seemed so afraid of Brian, especially after being reprimanded for arresting his brother, that he didn't even dare to print Brian's full name in the police report after John's death.
Wow.
All of the persons involved listed in your police report, everybody's first name and last name was completely spelled out except for one. Who was that?
Brian Albert. Those names were entered by Detective Sergeant Lank.
I mean,
did you omit Brian Albert's first name to mask the fact that he was involved?
I put forward this idea that in the years leading up to John O'Keefe's death, arresting Brian Albert in the town he grew up would have been virtually impossible. His standing as a high-ranking Boston police officer, his reputation for violence, and his close family ties to the local force created an atmosphere of untouchability. No one in that department was going to be the one to put cuffs on him, not without risking their career, their safety, or worse. Who would have been man enough to actually do it? Not Michael Lank, not Sean Good, Stephen Seraph, Paul Gallagher, and certainly not Chief Berkowitz. Perhaps Officer Kelly Dever. At least until she convinced herself that she imagined the whole thing.
It was a distorted memory.
It was a distorted memory.
Evidence can vanish. Relationships can be concealed. Witnesses can be silenced. Lies can be manufactured. Jurors can be removed. And judges can choose to look away. The truth is, it seems nothing could get Brian Albert or his home investigated in that town. Not even the murder of a lower-ranking Boston cop. Fear is a driving force behind cover-ups. It's powerful enough to keep good people silent, intimidate witnesses into changing their testimony, and stop those who might otherwise choose to do the right thing. One witness in particular seemed terrified to deviate from the McAlbert script, so desperate to downplay her relationship with Brian's daughter that her testimony spiraled into outright absurdity.
Exactly.
Laughlin, who's Caitlin Albert?
I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert.
Somebody named
Caitlin Albert.
Wow.
I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert.
Her response was obviously carefully scripted. She repeated the exact phrase. The question is, who authored it?
So do you know Caitlin Albert?
I do.
You friends with Caitlin Albert?
I would say more acquaintances, not close friends.
Don't forget, Karen knows with absolute certainty that she's lying. Locking her gaze on Katie for a wildly long, virtually unbroken 50 seconds. This is the unwavering stare of an innocent woman, watching a parade of deceitful liars get on the stand and sell falsehoods like their lives depended on it.
And that's the first trial.
No longer the terrified woman she was at the start, now she was refusing to break.
Late last night, we received another photo where Katie McLaughlin and Caitlin Albert are standing next to each other at a baby shower in June of 2021, about 8 months before John O'Keefe's death. It's very clear to us that Katie McLaughlin perjured herself.
For the McAlberts, Katie McLaughlin was a critical piece of the puzzle. In order to pin the crime on Karen Reed, they needed a so-called neutral witness to claim they heard a confession. It couldn't come from Jenn alone. So Katie was drafted for the role. A longtime friend of Caitlin Albert, she was someone they could influence without risk of being reported. Someone who could be steered to say what was needed. They thought no one would ever find out her and Caitlin were friends. But it doesn't seem like she's helping out of loyalty. Even for a friend, most people won't risk perjury. Growing up alongside Caitlin, Katie would have known the family to some degree and known of their reputation. She would also know that Kevin Albert was a cop in town, and exactly who Brian Albert was. But what she says next takes her testimony from highly questionable to completely implausible.
Who's her dad?
I don't know.
You a
As she sits on
goddamn
the
lie.
stand during the first trial, Katie McLaughlin claims she doesn't know that her friend's father is Brian Albert. To believe that, you'd have to accept that she somehow didn't realize whose lawn she responded to the morning John O'Keefe was found.
Right.
And is unaware that he's a controversial figure in this case.
Get the fuck
How
out
many
of here.
times would you say that you've discussed this case and this incident with your fellow firefighters?
It's brought up around the station semi-frequently.
So the answer is
I remember this.
Yes.
It defies
She
logic.
lied about it.
It's not just unlikely, it's impossible.
Right.
What makes far more sense is that Katie is bending over backwards to downplay her relationship with Caitlin and deny knowing who Brian Albert is because she's terrified. Terrified of saying something that could implicate them, and even more afraid of the backlash if she does. Her testimony isn't shaped by loyalty, it's
fear.
shaped by fear.
your visit to Canton PD was coordinated by another officer to put you and Trooper Proctor together for the interview, correct?
I don't recall that.
Do you recall being contacted by a completely different officer to say, hey, Trooper Proctor wants to talk to you, come on into Canton PD, let's have an interview?
I don't remember exactly how the interview was set up.
That was her answer in 2024. But it left the door open to implicate Kevin Albert with interfering in the case, and that simply cannot happen. So by 2025, it was doctored to this.
I've never spoken to Kevin Albert, ever.
I can't remember who it was that set up the meeting. How can you say with such specificity?
Because it was the state police called me. The state police called me. It was a state trooper.
When Brian's brother, Officer Kevin Albert, called her the day after John was pronounced dead, telling her that she needed to meet with Detective Michael Proctor, it's easy to see how she may have felt coerced into going along with whatever he decided to write in his report.
He's an Albert.
Much like Officer Kelly Dever, she presumably found herself faced with a choice: tell the truth and risk turning her community against her, or adjust her story and keep her life undisturbed. Though their circumstances differed, both seem to have followed the same calculus.
She made a choice.
And both have paid a heavy price for their decisions, now publicly known as enablers of the cover-up and associated with the very people most suspected of murdering John. The toll this involvement took on Katie seems to have changed her. In earlier photos, she appears full of life, happy, confident, and optimistic. But the woman on the witness stand in 2024 looks like a shadow of that person, empty, like the life has been drained from her. The weight of maintaining a lie leaves a mark.
Hey, Jen.
Damn right it
Are
does.
you worried about what's going to happen to your family when you go to jail?
Damn right it does.
Why are you shaking,
Touch
dude?
me again.
Why are you
Touch me
shaking?
again. Touch me
So,
again.
Jen, are you worried about...
This clip, captured by
Why you
Turtleboy at the
shaking,
lacrosse
bitch?
game, shows the unmistakable signs of someone buckling under the weight of exposure.
The villain of this story.
Even for Jen, who's naturally petite, her appearance is alarming. She looks emaciated, almost skeletal, shaken, pale, and visibly deteriorated, like someone buckling under the weight of immense pressure and fear. Unlike Katie.
Bro, why does everybody in that family look like Jill Daniels, dude? Like, I made that observation when she first got in Turtleboy's face and snatched his phone from him. Like, they all look like that dude in Seven. They all look like Jill Daniels more, like the most. But the dude in Seven, when they all busted in, and they had he had all those air fresheners hanging from the ceiling. My man was like, holy shit, this motherfucker's alive! This motherfucker's alive! Remember that shit? And the dude was like, it was really yeah, it was messed up. Yeah, as soon as I see Jill Daniels, I think of that. But that, the way Microdots is describing Jenn McCabe as I'm looking at her, she's got that same shit, just better skin. It's just she just got better skin. But they all got that whole half dead dude from Seven look.
Who seems scared of the family. Jennifer's fear is rooted in something much deeper. This was her condition on June 5th, 2023. Roughly 6 weeks earlier, she was visited by the FBI.
Google that motherfucker right now. Tell me I'm wrong.
They approached her in her driveway, where she denied she was Jenn McCabe, instead claiming to be her sister, lying to their faces.
I thought they were selling something, so I was like, oh no,
Get
I'm not the
fuck
homeowner.
out of here.
She walks into her home.
Stop
The
it.
agents immediately call her phone and she agrees to let them in for an interview, but asks for 10 minutes to freshen up first.
I had said no because I was in a situation where there are two officers from a different agent had come in, were asking me questions, or they had said, can I come in and ask you questions?
Did she borrow Hank Brennan's clothes? What the fuck's going on there?
At first, I thought they were selling something. Then they identified themselves. I just dropped my kids off at school. Going to be completely honest. I hadn't brushed my teeth.
Wow.
So I kind of made some phone
Objection, Your Honor.
calls.
This is
No,
unresponsive.
Yeah, this is not responsible.
Jennifer comes off as completely unhinged, struggling to articulate her version of events and visibly erratic. It's the performance of someone barely holding the script together.
It's the performance of somebody on an amphetamine, bro.
Before letting the agents in, Jennifer makes 5 quick phone calls. One of them is to Kerry, presumably to make sure their stories align.
It's like when when the ice cream truck was at the street next door and I'm saying, did the ice cream truck come? It's really that simple.
Bruh.
And one to Brian, almost certainly to give him a heads up that the feds are in town. She cuts the interview short after only a few minutes, but not before agents ask one last question.
They asked you, was there anyone else that you contacted in that 10-minute period before we got a chance to talk to you? And your answer was no, correct?
Correct.
And that was a lie, correct?
It wasn't a lie, no.
Was it true?
Was it true? Because that's the opposite of a lie.
Afterward, her husband Matt made her call the agents back to claim she had simply forgotten about the other 3 calls.
For some reason, you did not want these officers to know that you had communicated specifically with Brian Albert, the homeowner, just before you talked to them. Touch me
So, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen when you go to jail? Are you worried at all about that?
In addition to her visit from the FBI, there was another major source of stress that could help explain Jen's condition. Turtleboy's first expose on the case had dropped that same week. For the first time, the carefully controlled narrative was slipping, and for Jen, it must have felt like the walls were closing in.
These are cop killers. These are cop killers. You know they're cop killers, right?
But let's not get off track. There's still one more important family cover-up to explore.
2021.
NBC 10's Malcolm Johnson joins us
Going
live
back
now
to
from
the
Canton
day.
with the latest on what happened here, Malcolm.
Just after 5 o'clock, that's when a call came in for a car that had struck a pedestrian at Dedham and Washington Street. Here is Canton's police chief, Ken Berkowitz, on the victim's condition.
Party was conscious and alert. I was up there myself and witnessed it.
Last note here, the police chief, in an effort to establish some transparency here.
Complete transparency and to make sure that it didn't have any air of anything but...
Reached out to the district attorney, Mike Morrissey, and also the Massachusetts State Police so that they can conduct this investigation.
Turtleboy was the first to connect this incident to the Karen Reed case. According to his reporting, two independent sources identified the driver who struck the pedestrian as Tristan Morris, Caitlin Albert's longtime boyfriend, now husband. If true, it means Morris was shielded from public accountability. His name never appeared in any police report or news coverage, suggesting a deliberate effort to keep him out of the spotlight. Most likely because his name was on the waiting list to become a cop in this town, but was withdrawn after O'Keefe's death. During this public confrontation in May of 2024, Tristan called Aiden a rat, an interesting choice of words, considering a rat, by definition, is someone who reports the truth to law enforcement. This little-known 2021 incident may be the most revealing of them all for two key reasons. First, it occurred just 10 months before John O'Keefe's death. And second, it involved every major player: the local police chief Ken Berkowitz, the Norfolk DA Michael Morrissey, the state police in his office, and yet another cover-up to protect a member of the Albert family. Although very minor in comparison, it shows the machinery was already in place and functioning. This time they walked the line. The next time they would cross it. The only thing that changed was the magnitude of the crime and the need to bring in a scapegoat.
Right.
It's not just about avoiding consequences. The Alberts seem intent on erasing their names from the narrative entirely, as it was with Chris, Tin, and Tristan, scrubbing any record of their involvement as if it never happened. And more importantly, they've demonstrated time and again their ability to do it. So when a crisis of the highest order, one that threatens their freedom and everything they've built, were to occur inside Brian's home, how far would they go to protect themselves?
I mean, dude, if you don't see, dude, you're blind.
Okay, so when this happened, I wasn't working in news any longer and just tweeting news stories on my own. I tweeted about O'Keefe's death, essentially saying this is the house where he was found, and that online property records show it's located at 34 Fairview Road and owned by Brian Albert, the veteran Boston cop who appeared on the police reality show Boston's Finest. Shortly after that, I got a message from Berkowitz. I called him a half hour later. He asked me to take the tweet down. He said Brian Albert is a friend, a pillar of the community, and he didn't deserve to have his name smeared. I didn't want to deal with his bullshit, so I said okay, hung up and deleted the tweet.
The following day, while Karen was being arraigned, a false sense of relief was falling over the McAlberts. None of them were sitting in the courtroom. They were still trying to stay off the radar completely, but they were undoubtedly watching. Someone else was watching too, and he knew everything Lally was saying was pure fiction.
Defendants then made several statements to her indicating, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
Steve Scanlon, a private detective and acquaintance of Brian Albert, called David Yanetti's office with details only an insider could know. He said John had been murdered inside the house. There was a fight, that an ATF agent was involved, and that Brian's nephew, Colin Albert, was also present.
Wow.
This tip marked a turning point for the defense, although Scanlon later recanted, claiming he only believed John was killed inside because the injuries didn't align with the state's theory. But that explanation falls short. It doesn't account for how he knew about Brian Higgins and Colin Albert's involvement.
Exactly.
It seems Brian made Steve an offer he couldn't refuse, presumably making it more expensive to talk than to discredit himself. It's undeniable that Brian Albert, and by extension his entire family, were deeply feared. For a time, they managed to contain the whispers, silencing doubt through intimidation and bullying, which is why it must have come as such a shock when a voice emerged, loud, fearless, and impossible to silence, saying things that no one else dared to say in public.
John O'Keefe was murdered by Brian Albert and by Colin Albert and that freaking dog and every other single person in that house.
Here was a new species of journalist, a hybrid of the old-school reporter who chases the story wherever it leads, but with a massive social media following and fiercely loyal audience behind him.
That was a hell of an introduction for Mr. Tom CPU there, my man. Well done, Microdots. Giving Tom CPU props. I love it. I'm just kidding, man. We love Tom.
Immune to every weapon in their arsenal, and they had no idea how to stop him. He was everything they were not: charismatic, entertaining, a great speaker, and instantly likable. If there's one point that's been lost in this story, it's just how unafraid Aidan Kearney was to speak out against the Alberts. He did what no one else dared to do. His intent was always to uncover the absolute truth, relentlessly but within the bounds of the law. Yet he still hasn't received the recognition he deserves for being the lone source of factual information when every mainstream outlet refused to touch the story. And in doing so, his courage gave others the strength to step out of the shadows, even if only online, to share what they knew and speak what they believed.
Yeah, man.
The family took notice and initially tried to stop them. Chris Albert's attorney sent threatening letters to dozens of local residents simply for posting factual Facebook comments critical of his past, a clear attempt to silence through intimidation. However, they quickly learned that every attempt they made was being reported back to Turtleboy, fueling his next article and making their efforts backfire spectacularly. Interest in the story was skyrocketing. McAlbert ally and subordinate Chief Rafferty quickly stepped in, going to bat for them in an attempt to throw water on the theory that John was killed inside the house.
These final words I have will be memorialized on camera. No matter what the jury decides in the O'Keefe case, I will always be able to look in any mirror I pass. My children will always be able to view me as a person of integrity, and I will always be able to look the O'Keefe family members in their eyes because there is absolutely no evidence of a cover-up in the
Yeah, 6 figures tends to do that for some people.
tragic death of John O'Keefe.
It's exactly statements like this that helped cover up the truth.
The irony.
So, when the next wave of letters went out, targeting the town's most outspoken residents, this time they were sent anonymously and included true threats.
But the accusations and threats by an anonymous sender that threatened to hurt me, my family, and people we know made me swear to people I love that I was going to step back from this microphone even when it opens up again. But I find myself here because I still believe in the democratic process and in talking through issues face to face, even when we're shaking and really, really scared, rather than threatening people behind closed doors.
Uniformly, the harassers are McCabe and Albert supporters with fake accounts they wrongly, very wrongly think can't be traced. I was harassed by an Albert supporter who brought my dead father into it. My dead father, a World War II combat hero.
I am one of the 4 people, as you know, because the letter was forwarded to you, that received the intimidating letter in the mail. And I'm not going to give that letter any credence. It was written by a few people, clearly, and it had lies in it. And some of the things that were in there, and I want you to know, is that they said to us, you have chosen to insert yourself into an unimaginable situation. Why would any of you want to do this is beyond us. There are just a few facts people eagerly shared, and these were the lies that they told about us and our family.
The authors of the letters included paragraphs of salacious lies about each recipient, including their families, threatening to spread them unless they stopped speaking out about the case, also known as blackmail.
There's a section, I'm not even going to give that any credence because it's made up. Imagine a deep dive. This is to quiet us. Imagine a deep dive of family,
Thank you, Amy
friends,
McCabe.
extended families, neighbors, and coworkers. We will make sure they know this is curiosity of you. Fact or fiction, it sticks forever on the internet.
At the next meeting, Jenn McCabe's older sister responded to the threats made against Karen Reed supporters in the letters. Matt and Jen also attended.
Some residents tearfully spoke about anonymous harassment and fearing for the safety of their families due to receiving a mildly contentious letter. Have you been blind to the constant, vicious, hateful, abusive posts, letters, memes, messages, calls, visits, name calling, and profanity that has been directed at my family and friends for the past 8 months on social media?
Unsurprisingly, she draws a flawed comparison to her own family, ignoring the fact that the 4 Karen Reed supporters were threatened.
I deny such allegations. Thought it was a super chat. Damn. Here you go. Thank you so much, Amy McCabe. I appreciate it.
For simply demanding Chris Albert's resignation. A few months later, while Aiden was jailed in retaliation for his investigative work, I ran into them at a hearing. Jen made sure to let me know she knew who I was.
Hi.
An intimidation tactic used against me. All I had ever done was hold a camera. But it didn't feel the same without Aiden, which was the entire point of locking him up.
I got a good clip.
It's important to note
that all you ever did was hold a camera and make the most informative videos in regards to this case. Just saying, dude. You did more than just hold a camera, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. As far as like just standing there, like you're just standing there, just holding the camera. You're not saying a word. The fuck's their problem?
No one can be held responsible for the actions of another, and we don't know who sent the anonymous letters. The point is this: there's a false narrative that only the McAlberts were harassed, when in reality, true threats have been made against Karen Reed.
Thank you, Lola. I don't think the McAlberts were part of the 4%. Their last statements are not being protected, hinted they are no longer fans of Morrissey. Okay, maybe. I don't know.
And her supporters for years.
Criminal justice system has let us down. We all stayed quiet yesterday because we were just witnesses. We took what we thought was the high ground. That's why we're here, because there's nobody left to stand up for us. This is a guy that was murdered.
One of the implications of a cover-up of this scale is the amount of coordination involved. The witnesses, the state police, and the prosecutors needed to work together to maintain a unified narrative. When new evidence emerged that threatened to expose inconsistencies, their stories would adapt. This level of synchronization doesn't happen by accident.
Right.
It requires a staggering amount of behind-the-scenes communication. The attorneys likely relied on 1 or 2 key individuals to quietly pass
which we know now absolutely fucking took place.
Along discreet and possibly unlawful instructions to the others. It's an aspect of this case we know very little about, but there are clues. Once they became aware of the federal investigation, I've long suspected that most of their communication shifted to face-to-face meetings to avoid surveillance. Photos of so-called parties at the McCabe residence surfaced during both trials, but in my view, they likely served a dual purpose. One less about socializing and more about strategizing. And a party is a convenient way to conceal exactly who you're meeting with.
You do realize for this conspiracy to be true, it would take 30 to 50 people. You'd have to have multiple cops on 2 different police departments, multiple civilians, the medical examiner, firemen, EMTs, you name it. That's how preposterous and silly this is. And great question. I don't understand how people bought this.
In reality, only a few people had to act, and the rest just had to do nothing. A climate of fear and a chain of unspoken loyalties would keep everyone in line. The exact reasoning behind every individual's actions, we will never know. But we can make some basic observations and begin to group the key players into broad categories to help understand how this was possible.
There
At
it
the
is.
core of the wheel is Jennifer McCabe,
There it
Brian
is.
Albert, and Brian Higgins. Their communications in the hours after John's death indicates they were already conspiring. Their lies, combined with the deliberate destruction of evidence, implicate them beyond any reasonable doubt.
That's right.
Their motivation can be summed up in 2 words: self-preservation. Next, we have their immediate family members, along with 2 close friends, Sarah Levinson and Julie Nagel. These individuals were either inside the house when John was killed, or were brought into the loop shortly after. We wouldn't expect any of them to talk. Initially, their instructions were incredibly simple.
Tell them the guy never went in the house.
We extend the circle outward to include all of the people who aided and abetted the conspiracy, by our estimation, at least to some degree. They are all members of the Norfolk DA's office or police officers, with only one exception.
And that was a lie, correct?
Objection. Was that a lie? Did you lie?
I did not intentionally.
But you did.
And
Not intentionally.
okay, that's the end of
Understood
this.
the question, Mr. Jackson.
All right. Is there any?
Well, you said that you lied, and lying is intentional. You didn't have a distorted memory. You lied just by accident.
Any other question, or was that it?
I didn't know what she just said.
I said I misunderstood the question, Mr. Jackson.
The network is structured similar to a criminal organization. To cross them would be to make enemies of a powerful machine wielding the full force of government. These are the foot soldiers. Some had starring roles, like Michael Proctor, who allegedly planted taillight fragments, and Brian Tully, believed to have run point for the Massachusetts State Police embedded within the Norfolk DA's office. They appear to have handled the day-to-day routine tasks required when framing an innocent woman.
Enjoy jail.
The cover-up was ignited out of loyalty to the
That was
family.
awesome.
It was supposed to be cut and dry. But as the situation unraveled, others would step in to protect their dirty little corner of the thin blue line. The same cops who were involved in the cover-up of Sandra Birchmore's murder. Once they got on the train, there was no getting off. Loyalty to each other and not going to prison is all of the motivation they would need. And the Canton police didn't have the spine to do or say anything.
It's really that simple.
The boss of this operation.
It really is,
DA
Jen.
Michael W. Morrissey. It was ultimately his decision to prosecute Karen Reed. A betrayal of his oath, made not in the pursuit of justice, but in a desperate attempt to shield himself from peril. Going so far as to have his loudest critic set up, arrested, and falsely prosecuted. He went on TV and knowingly lied about his detective's ties to the Alberts.
Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation and had no conflict. And he had no reason to step out of this investigation. Every suggestion to the contrary is a lie. A lie. A lie. A lie. A lie.
Guy's such a fucking worthless tub of shit, dude. Like just a big, fat, smelly, greasy fucking pig fucking flop of shit. Fuck that guy.
Below we have his lieutenants, Adam Lally, Hank Brennan, and Laura McLaughlin. All knew Karen was innocent, and each compromised themselves in their own disgraceful way.
If you're a Hank Brennan or even an Adam Lally or a Laura McLaughlin, by the way, God help us in the judicial system. God help us. You have a broader responsibility, not just to do a job, do the right goddamn thing. Do the
Get
right
him,
thing.
Alan.
Do the right thing.
Get him, AJ.
Just like the state police officers, they got involved early when the stakes were low, only to find themselves trapped and forced to keep doubling down, at risk of losing everything. The only one who willingly stepped into the fire with both feet was Hank Brennan.
Then I have some very talented people who handle prosecutions, and there's about 65 attorneys in the office, about 130 people.
Still no explanation as to why a special prosecutor was necessary. Lally and McLaughlin were assisting.
From his own fucking fat, greasy face, he's saying 65 capable prosecutors. 65 prosecutors he could have chose from to prosecute Karen Reed to prosecute Aiden. 65 prosecutors he could have chose from, but he had to hire special prosecutors. Why is that? Because nobody who gives a fuck about their future is going to prosecute either one of those cases. None of them.
So it can't be due to a conflict. People say no attorney in the DA's office would touch the case, but I don't buy that. It's more likely they were never even asked. Morrissey didn't want an ethical staff employee.
Now,
he needed someone dirty.
Microdot's mentioned that the last time I was live when he was in my chat. He mentioned that. He was like, I don't think, and I did agree with him. I just forgot that he said that. Because he's making a really good point. Plausible deniability. And it provides witnesses. Think about it. He's not going to give them the opportunity to turn down the case, because then they're subject to subpoena once his ass gets an indictment. And then they got to testify against him and be like, yeah, he asked me. And I was like, no. I was like, no fucking way. He's not even going to like put himself in a position to where someone is going to be like, no way, this can't be won, because it takes a lot. You can't just get somebody and be like, hey, I'm assigning you this case and do the best you can. No, he hired a special prosecutor because he needed to pull puppet strings. He needed the people that were pulling his strings. He needed to be able to pull their strings like the people who are pulling his strings, which could only be the McAlberts. So he's going to hire a special prosecutor because he can absolutely coach them. He can tell them exactly what he wants. This is what you're going to do. And you're going to fucking piss in the face of Lady Justice as you do it. You're going to win at whatever cost. I don't care what you have to do. All right, well, I'm thinking I'm going to need north of $500,000 to do this.
Enough to do whatever needed to be done, so he hired mob lawyer Hank Brennan. He was paid over $500,000 by the taxpayers to do it. Now we know exactly how much his reputation is worth to him. Then there are those who may not have been directly involved in the cover-up but still helped make it possible. Their motivations typically fall into one of three categories: loyalty to the players, a desire to protect the status quo, or fear of the consequences. The governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general, all longtime political allies of Michael Morrissey, stood by in silence as this atrocity unfolded.
Didn't say
hoping
shit
to avoid the fallout. He endorsed their campaigns, and in turn, they silently endorsed his crimes. They had the power to intervene and did nothing. Andrea Campbell, in particular, looked the other way when she should have been providing oversight.
Wow.
And now we arrive to the MVP of the entire production, Judge Beverly Canone. Her favoritism toward the prosecution, an open hostility toward Reed's defense team was obvious to anyone watching. Her loyalty to Michael Morrissey, a man to whom she has direct ties, is the best explanation for her behavior. She seemed to follow two unwavering directives: never dismiss the case under any circumstances, and never hold the prosecution accountable for misconduct, no matter how blatant.
Right.
Rounding out the circle is Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox, who crossed the line by intimidating Officer Kelly Dever, directly influencing her testimony. His actions appear to be driven by pure loyalty to either the Norfolk DA or his former colleague Brian Albert, but apparently not Officer John O'Keefe. None of these people agreed to be part of the biggest scandal in Massachusetts history. It was supposed to be quietly buried, but once each of them took that first step, they were locked in. Despite the full force of the state, endless resources, a rigged game, and no ethics to speak of, Karen Reed still crushed them. But if they
Crushed.
thought the nightmare ended with the trial, they were dead wrong. Now it's their turn under the spotlight. Michael Proctor and Adam Lally are being dragged into court, forced to answer questions under oath. And Team Reed isn't slowing down. They're coming straight for the Norfolk DA's office and the Mass State Police insiders who set her up. Turtleboy and his all-star legal team are preparing to expose the misconduct committed by the very people who tried to take him down.
This is not the end, friends. This is the charge forward.
Hell yeah.
There are bad, evil, nefarious players in this.
The same exact troopers, the same exact detectives, and the same exact prosecutors who I have been accusing of being complicit in this are the ones who filed these charges and came to my house and put me in handcuffs. That should shock us all.
Yeah, I'm dropping the Patreon link.
Gee, I haven't seen Johnny in a while, and call the police. The police and fire
wait.
show up, and they find that someone is deceased. The local police have to call the state police. The two of them investigate the scene, and they determine whether or not it's homicide or accident.
Dude, why can't I? Yeah, the link that I just dropped is to his Patreon. Oh, there's Liz. What's up, Liz? Appreciate you. Thank you. For Microdots and Liz. Yeah, fantastic shit as always. That might be his best one. That was amazing. If anybody wants to call in, they can. Phone lines are open. Take a couple of calls. Yeah, like that shit was fully informative. Like, and I love that it was like hyper focused on the McAlberts and the corruption. It was so good. Like, it was so good. That so needed to be done. The Microdots video that we didn't know we needed.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
It's Liz. How are you?
Hey, Liz. What's up?
Not much. I'm pissed. I just woke up. I'm like, oh no, the glare is on. And then when you said call in, I said, oh, the heck with it. If somebody doesn't like it, I'm calling anyway. I'm going to have a smoke. And what were you watching, the Microdot show?
Yeah, we were watching the new Microdots video. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I had that on and fell asleep. I didn't know you guys were watching it. I don't know how to get like I have on notifications, but I never get them. So all I do is just constantly hop on.
I think I because I haven't been going live as often. It's not pushing out the notifications to everybody as much as they used to. So I just I have to just go live more often so that happens.
Yeah, I didn't know if it's something. I'm not good with all this technology stuff anyway, but I'm like, all I constantly do is like look to see if someone's on.
Yeah.
And of course, you're one of my faves, so get psyched when I see that, and I just saw her, and I'm like, oh man.
Well, you're one of my faves too, Liz.
Oh, thanks. How's your knee? Most importantly, I've been thinking about you.
It's getting better. It's taking forever because like I need to get around, So like
right.
Like I'm not resting it as I should be, but
yeah.
But it is like I can heel toe, but I can't straighten it. But I feel like I can straighten it. I feel like I can straighten it a little bit more and more every day. I just don't think I'm ready to. I'm going to be on this cane for at least another month, at least, easy.
Sure. Wow. Yeah,
but
you do feel an improvement.
Absolutely, yeah. I can put pressure on it. I can heel toe, when I walk, but I can't straighten my knee out. I can't straighten it like I can the other one. So,
I'd imagine it's very, very discouraging.
It is, but I've gone through this before, and I think that I'm just gonna have to kind of simulate some physical therapy, and
right,
I think it's just my knee is weak, and I have to slowly take it easy and build the strength back up in it.
Right. It's going to be a long procedure, unfortunately.
Yeah. Especially, opting to do it to do it without medical attention is definitely, I have to be extra careful in how I do things.
Right.
I have to just take some insurance measures.
I had my uncle put you on his prayer chain because he's godly, like when he isn't being a wise ass. I'm like, you gotta have your people pray for my friend Will. But hey, maybe it's working.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you. I appreciate that, Liz.
I'm definitely into prayer. Prayer does work.
I believe so too. I do believe.
Yeah, definitely. I got to get to church more often, but prayer does work.
Right.
But I'll let other people call in. I don't want people to get mad at me.
All right.
All right, and good job by Microdots. Like I said, though, I fell asleep. I went to watch it twice today, and I fell asleep twice, and just feeling crappy today. This South Carolina weather, I don't know how people deal with it. I don't. It's so friggin' hot, man. Give me Boston any day. It's just the grandkids are here, and it's like, oh, it's a tough one.
If my rights meant anything in Boston, I would move there in a second, but they don't. So
yeah, no, I know. I love Boston. I really do. But as long as my grandkids are here, but they hate it here. And I think my son only has like a year left, year and a half left here. He's in the military, so hopefully, somewhere better. Something. New Hampshire would be great, but again, I'll let other people call, and it was good to hear from you and talk to you, and keep doing our prayers, and you'll make it there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Liz.
Hey, if you can put a word into Turtleboy, tell him if he sells out at I don't know if he's at the Wang or anything. I won't be home for it. But if he sells out, he should do pay-per-view as well. Make more money. And plus, a lot of other people that don't have the luxury of going can see it.
I'm sure they're going to have a setup to where you can stream it, and it'll be, if he can find a way to put it behind a paywall, that'll be ideal,
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
There are ways. I'm sure he'll figure it out.
Yeah, because my grandson has a doctor's appointment at that very time, which I have to, be here for. So there's no way I can even hop, home for a couple of days. So not that it's all about me, about all these people that live, all over the world that have been watching, would probably love to see it. So yeah, I know you're pretty tied in with him, so make sure he does that.
I'll do my
All
best.
right, hey, all right. You have a good night. Now, everyone in the chat, you guys are awesome.
All right.
Best chat anywhere, honest to God. All right, bye bye now, hon.
Bye, Liz.
Have a good one. Bye bye.
too. All right. Yeah, so that's what, September, right? The Wilbur thing?
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, hi, Will. This is Gina from Canton. How are you?
Hi, Gina from Canton. I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I had a rough day, but I'm doing pretty well now.
Okay.
So how are you? I haven't talked to you. How are you really feeling after the verdict and all that?
Oh, excited more than anything, because, the verdict was an inevitable step towards getting some kind of justice. Like,
Yeah.
but by the time the verdict happened, Karen deserved justice. And so now I see, hopefully we could still get justice for Boston police officer John O'Keefe. I still have hopes for that. But now,
Yeah, me too.
Karen deserves justice. Aiden deserves justice. And
Absolutely.
So I want to see that happen. I'm just excited to see what's to come.
Yeah, ready for the next chapters.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, injustice. I mean,
Right.
because I would really love to see John O'Keefe get justice, and Karen. I know it's going to cost me because I live in Norfolk County, but she did not deserve
Well,
what
you're
happened to her.
You're the people that matter the most. Like, the only way change is going to happen in Norfolk County is whatever you guys do. You guys are the ones who have to vote. You guys are the ones who have to keep your voices loud. Keep showing up to court hearings to support Aiden. These are the things that are really, really important, and you guys are awesome doing that. But make no mistake, like, you guys are very supportive of Turtleboy, but everyone around the world is supportive of not just Turtleboy and Karen, but of you locals in Norfolk County and in Massachusetts.
And it is. It comes right down to everyone's rights are at risk here.
Yeah, exactly.
It affects us all, and anyone that doesn't think that way. I mean, I'm going to use one of your words quietly.
Retarded?
But oh yeah.
Yeah, like, why couldn't she think of it?
I could. My daughter was walking out, so sorry about that. She was just coming out to say goodnight to me. That's why I hesitated. But anyways, yes, that's what I was going to say.
Right on.
Because I seen that reel, and let me tell you, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and living here, and not only in Norfolk, but in Canton, it hits harder.
Sure. Yeah, of course it does.
And
Like, you guys are
yeah,
the ones affected.
and I appreciate all the supporters out there fighting for us here and for everyone.
Right on. Now,
Yeah.
I've never been a part of anything more important. So thank you for fighting.
Yeah, it's
Appreciate
powerful, right?
it. Yeah, you guys are awesome. All right, I'm going to take the next call,
Yeah.
Gina. Thanks for calling.
All right, well, have a good night.
All right, bye-bye.
Call from Yolanda.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi there, this is Yolanda.
Hi, Yolanda.
Hi there. So I've been lurking for a long time, and I've been enjoying the community gatherings that have gone on for Karen. And I have to say this, I'm noticing a shift in the people as far as just saying no when they're noticing something is corrupt or disrupt. And it's just, I'm wondering what your take is on the shift in the media, because along with responsible reporting, and by the way, I wish more people knew that Turtleboy didn't just start with Karen. He's been doing this for years and years, and I think that's important for people who are taking on his methodologies. I think it's important for them to understand that there's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes. It's not just blast,
I find it interesting that Boston 10 article that I read at the beginning of the stream mentions Aiden a lot, but have they reached out to him for an interview?
Exactly. See, and that's, I
Maybe
don't,
they have. I don't know. I'm saying
right.
It would make sense that they did, but it would also make sense if they didn't. It would very much align with my theory, which is, you're afraid of him. He poses a threat to you. So
exactly,
you're mentioning him, but you're not going to sit down and put a mic on him and have a sit down interview with him. Like,
right.
He would totally do that with Sue O'Connell. He would absolutely do that.
Well, the reason why I think that the mainstream media is veering away from, even entertaining is because that would mean that they're also turning a leaf, or they're also seeing the fault.
I'm not ready to give them that much credit. I'm not ready to give them that benefit of the doubt. I think that they're competing with Aiden. Like, what's the only way to compete with him? Like, people are abandoning mainstream media and adopting independent media because they've abandoned the faith that mainstream media is going to deliver them the truth. So they're turning to independent media for that. And so
now that leads me back to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's still a win. It's still a win if they compete with Aiden and deliver the truth, all of it. You know what I mean? Because now we've got mainstream media doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing in the first place. So, so if that happens, and Aiden will inevitably get credit for that, inevitably. So,
I think he's more in it for the long game, and he's thorough. Whatever he does, there's always a reason behind it, and that's what I think that people who are seeking to work more like him, they need to learn how to not be just the blast and for the clicks and things like that. They need to understand there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes when you are revealing the truth, the layers. That's why this video really...
It's called investigative journalism, which is something mainstream media has forgotten all about.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. I also see an opportunity for the leaders of this movement to perhaps, I know not everybody has time for this, but if they could take some time with other journalists wanting to do what they're doing to teach them their ways. You know what I mean? So that we don't have a lot of rogue people out here. And does that make sense?
I mean, the thing is you're going to have those chances being taken when you promote independent media. People are going to bring their own styles, and you're just going to have people who are going to be more credible than others.
Yeah, that's true.
And the best thing that anyone can do is those of us who feel strongly about independent media having some sort of winning the public credibility, winning the public's trust, is to set an example. Give the public what they're lacking from mainstream media. Simple.
Yeah.
And if we all have that very simple understanding and have and use common sense judgment in how you deliver information, then how you research and how you deliver the information, that's if people follow this ethical toe this ethical line, for lack of a better term, then we got a chance. But
Right. Yeah. Well, I just love what all of you do as a whole and individually. Each of you have your own different styles that I'm very impressed with it, and I've been watching for a long time. And yeah, so I won't keep you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Yolanda.
You're very welcome. All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, I'll take one last call. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to get into all the, left-wing, right-wing media shit.
Call from
Michelle.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Yes, you're speaking with Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
This ain't Michelle. This is Mazza. What's going on, man?
What's up, dude? I was hoping it was gonna be a legit crank call. It never happens.
No. That wasn't gonna crank call you, bro. Well, maybe a little bit for a minute or two. They got to laugh, but dude, I'm just hoping for big things for Aiden here. He's got a big day in court coming up here on the 13th, I believe, and I'm just hoping for big things to be going down in his favor here, and Federer and Bradel can start to really knock these charges down and out of the park and get them all over with, and Aiden can move on with his life. I think a big part of everything is just not forgetting about Aiden and all of this. I think that Aiden was, for many of us, the person that kind of propelled us into following this, and I think it's huge if we can continue to raise money for Aiden and continue to fight against these people that tried to bring down Karen, tried to bring down him, and all that. So I just think that it's kind of what's on my mind a lot. I think my mind's kind of starting to get into Turtleboy mode now. It takes some time to get off the Karen Reed thing, which is still going on, but it's I'm starting to kind of recenter my focus now on Aiden and his battle.
Yeah, same here. Because Karen's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the tide has already shifted her way. Now she's got the ball. Right. So and of course we're still going to support her, and we're still going to go over all the updates. But I agree with you, Aiden. If we're trying to rally support, we've got to focus on Aiden.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And that's where it's fought. And like I said, some people out there that learned about this case from Aiden and then turn around and it's actually said, well, I'm just happy Karen's free. I don't care. If what happens to Aiden, which is totally nonsense. I think that, right. We're all a team. I think about this. And as far as I'm concerned, Aiden's a fellow soldier who has basically a commander title, basically, that went out there on the front lines like Spartacus, and led a big rally. And as a result of that, to popularize Karen Reed's case, he had to do sacrificial time in jail because the powers that be wanted to shut him down and shut him up, and by way of that, shut us all up. and
Right.
shut us all down. And that kind of backfired on them because a lot of us, all of us, I should say, not a lot of us, all of us, ended up staying strong through all of that. And, you know, for all of us, I think the message is we need to see this through for Aiden. You know, win one for the Gipper, you know, do it for Rudy. Yeah. But, you know, no, seriously though, you know, helping out Aiden in this battle and not forgetting about him. And I think that's, you know, I think that's a big concern he has too, is that, you know, he was bothered by a few comments he read a month or two ago, you know, that were like, well, I don't care what happens to Aiden. It's like, well, if Aiden brought you to this fight for Karen, why are you gonna, you know, not support him too? And I think that's a huge thing here, is continuing that, which is what you've been doing, man, a lot. You know, you've been doing the hearing replay, showing what he's going through, and all these charges. I mean, let's be honest, they're all ridiculous charges.
Yeah.
They're all made up, manifested charges that are overreactions to nothing. Just to shut them up and shut them down. We saw what happened to Sean Paul Reyes recently in Connecticut, and that officer in the Connecticut State Police was really reprimanded for all of his actions when he was in the wrong for what he did. And I want Massachusetts to have the same accountability, which to a degree they've done with Proctor, but at the same time, that's really just damage control.
No,
because
man,
at the end of the day,
we predicted all of this. Proctor is falling on his sword. Nobody else is paying for anything. Like, he's the easiest one. He's the one with the text messages. He's the one with the nasty text messages that outrage the public. He's the one that you throw under the bus. He's the one you feed to the lions. You know, that's it. That's all this is. This is all a sham. And you know, with Alan Jackson and Eliza Little being on her civil team now, they're coming full force. They're not gonna, they're not
in the water.
Yeah, that's it. They're coming full force. Like now you know that there's going to be a passion in there. Now, I'm not saying that her civil attorneys aren't passionate as they are. We just don't know anything about them yet, really. You know, but we know Alan Jackson and Eliza Little are on fire for justice for Karen. So they're gonna get it. You know, now I'm completely into. I'm like, okay, this is gonna get wild. Like all the stuff that they couldn't get out there because of Judge Bev. There's no more Judge Bev.
Yeah.
So
it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing to say.
Yeah.
Judge Bev is out of the way.
Right. Right.
She tried. She was the gatekeeper of the Commonwealth, and you know, she tried to do everything she could. You know, Richie summed it up so perfectly in the Microdots video you were playing recently, just moments ago, really, and taking a big point at basically, like I always said, I always said numerous times, she was the biggest problem, because regardless of how you feel about anybody else that's involved, when it comes to Karen Reed's freedom, the path goes through the courtroom, and the person in charge of the courtroom was that judge. And she did what she could. She forced 2 trials, and I think she was definitely eyeballing a third all the way. And you know, fortunately, the defenses, you know, the defense kind of saw some workarounds from the first trial on how to not frame like in, you know, how Karen was framed, but frame their approach in a way that's more presentable to the jury, to get the understanding that, guess what, this was basically a frame job. It was a ruse. It was a cover-up. Karen Reed didn't do this, and don't fall for the prosecution and the Commonwealth's nonsense. And you know, what we heard back from those jurors, I was very reassuring.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just really like the fact that they're oh shit, I forgot what I was going to say. I got distracted by chat. Shit. Yeah, that happens.
Terry has that effect on all of us. Terry's always, you know, a distraction. She's always commenting on something. That Terry.
No, I was actually looking at another comment, but I mean, yeah, like it's ironic. We mentioned this before. It's very ironic, and it's like with Bev, it's like watching a game where like a game that lasts months, and the ref is just constantly making bad calls with impunity. You know, like nobody can do anything about the ref. The ref is in charge of the game. That's it. There's nobody that's going to step in and go, hey, you're making bad calls, you got to go. You know what I mean? Like it's except it's a woman's life instead of a championship that's on the line here.
Right.
Like it's so crazy. And the whole thing with Aiden, the irony is, I've said this a bunch of times, the irony is that if he had never been falsely charged, he wouldn't have the proof that he has against he wouldn't have the proof of the corruption and the misconduct that he has had they not falsely charged him. I love that irony.
Right.
Like he was just drawing attention to them before, then they charged him, and then they ended up with data proving this collusion.
Yep. Yeah. It's huge. It's huge. And, what's great is that more information's in the favor of Aiden and, his attorneys, the dream team, the other dream team, Bradel and Betterow. And that's huge because, Betterow and Bradel, Bradel was great, but Betterow's also great. Now you got basically a Michael Jordan, Larry Bird team. I'm sure Betterow sees himself as Larry Bird because he's a Celtics fan.
Right.
But Bradel's probably a Celtics fan too, right? I'd imagine. But no, it's going to be, and plus the way Betterow quantifies data, takes it information, puts it into his letters, his famous, letteros. He's a master of that, which is fantastic. And I think that, I think in this case,
and his passion, his passion about it, like you hear it every time he's on somebody's channel talking about it. And he's just, not Turtleboy's case. He doesn't talk about that, but he'll talk about the Karen Reed case. And he talks about that with such passion that you're just like, that Aiden is getting the best possible counsel right now. Like you just know it is.
100%. And fortunately, Betterow was able to come into this case. Unfortunately, they did him dirty on the Karen Reed case, which is extremely frustrating for all of us. It's almost like you need two Mark Betterow.
Oh wait,
Mark Betterow on court, and then you need him on the shows too.
And then you got the third installment of that trifecta of Turtleboy's defense team in the chat now. Olivia.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah, this is I'm really excited to see what's about to go down. I'm really excited to see what's about to go down. With everything. But the plan tomorrow is going to be to go over the next hearing, the one in March. And then and I got to set up a Patreon stream, man. Like I slacked so bad. I just been fucking going through it the last couple of weeks, but I think I'm all right now. So Saturday, before we end this, tomorrow, maybe I'll do mine following yours, or sometime before it, but you're doing a fundraiser stream for Aiden at 6 p.m. where you are going to name 25 of your favorite movies, and you're going to break those down for us as to why they're your favorites. Yeah.
Oh, you bet. You bet. I'm not sure if I'm going to go 2 hours or 3 hours. It depends. We'll see how long it goes, but it's going to be a good time. I kind of want to talk about movies, and I'm overdue to do a fundraiser for Aiden as well. And I said, well, let's do them all together.
We all love movies, right? Yeah, we all love movies, man. Like, why can't we support Aiden through our love of movies?
Right. Absolutely. And I think last winter before Christmas, I did the Karen Reed fundraiser paired with my top 20 or 25 Christmas movies too. So it was a fun time. It was definitely a fun time. So I'm hoping to raise. I want to raise over $1,000 minimum tomorrow. I'm hoping for that. That will be kind of my goal, and then hopefully we can build from there.
I have no doubt you will.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Absolutely, bro.
Oh,
Absolutely,
paralegal PDX. Hope you go over. Yes, I'm gonna do that too. I've been promising I'm gonna do that too. Because right now I'm just going over the Lindsay stuff because it's just kind of like insane. And then I'm gonna veer back to the main charges and point out why those are such bullshit again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. So someone said, "Who is this hillbilly?" I'm like, if they're referring to me, that would be the first time in my life I
Yeah.
was ever referred to as a hillbilly.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine anybody referring to you as a hillbilly and not being Helen
Right.
Keller.
Right. Absolutely, man. Well, thanks for having me on, man. I saw an opportunity to call in and I took it. And
Oh, that was awesome.
Again, thanks for plugging my show for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to raising funds for Aiden and talking about my 25 favorite movies of all time. Shout out to Olivia. Olivia's done great work and continues to do great work. And I know she's going to be an asset as it pertains to a lot of important matters that are coming up real soon. And we're looking forward to her contributing to that, just like she contributed to the Karen Reed case and was such a weapon of knowledge and quantifying information on X. So that's it. So,
Yeah. No better, no more valuable ex tweeter in regards to the Karen Reed case than Olivia Nile. That is for sure.
Yeah, it's a fact. A fact. It's unquestionable.
All right, dude.
All right, bro.
Thanks
Take
for
care.
calling. I'll
Free
see you
Turtle Boy.
in your chat tomorrow. Free Turtle Boy, buddy.
Bro. All right, take care. Bye.
Thank you, Sunshine. Appreciate you. Well, folks, that's gonna be it for me. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go back to watching. Oh man, now I'm all excited about it. We go back to watching Boardwalk Empire. I'm stoked about that shit. That dude that plays Al Capone, like I've seen him in a couple other things, dude, but he is like the best Al Capone I've seen on camera yet, rivaling De Niro. So I'm really enjoying it right now. But anyways, guys, you guys are really fantastic. Please make sure to hit the like on your way out if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and hit the notification bell so that when I slack for as long as I do, the algorithm doesn't keep you from getting a notification when I go live. But guys, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Thanks for all the support. You guys are so generous and kind. You guys are fantastic. I love you very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.